0.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria that can build up in your mask, hose, and reservoir.
I don't have to push a button or anything. I just put the mask in the chamber, close the lid, and it runs automatically. So Clean has been a lifesaver.
So Clean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks. Try it risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-436-0262 to take advantage of this limited time offer.
I would recommend the So Clean machine to anyone else. It is that good of a machine. It has made that big a difference in my life.
Try So Clean risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-436-0262 or go to SoClean.com.
Killed in the line of duty by an illegal immigrant. The politics, the policy, and what should be done now. The slain officer's brother speaks out tomorrow on Fox and Friends.
Dump every mattress. 15 cents on the dollar. Queen size $199. Kings $299. Twins $79. Adjustables $99. Only once a year. Mattress clearance sale. Friday to the dump, to the dump, to the dump, dump, dump.
If you or a loved one were exposed to Roundup weed killer and were later diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Glyphosate, the primary ingredient in Roundup weed killer, was recently designated a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization. Call right now.
Call 1-800-574-7628. Again, that's 1-800-574-7628.
This is a special report for people who want the facts about reverse mortgages without the hype. You've seen a lot of commercials telling you how you can turn the equity in your home into tax-free cash. But do you really know if a reverse mortgage loan can help you? Call today. For a limited time only, we'll send you a free special report. There's no obligation, and the call is free. So don't delay.
Call 1-800-380-7471. That's 1-800-380-7471.
If you or a loved one were exposed to Roundup weed killer and were later diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Glyphosate, the primary ingredient in Roundup weed killer, was recently designated a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization. Call right now.
Call 1-800-441-3777. Again, that's 1-800-441-3777.
Dump every rug. 15 cents on the dollar. 10,000 fine oriental and handmade rugs. Once a year on this first Friday. Dump every rug. 15 cents on the dollar. To the dump, to the dump, to the dump, dump, dump.
This guy makes the best soup in the city, Jerry. The best. You know what they call him? Soup Nazi.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3.
What? No soup for you.
No soup for you, and no fun for millennials. Yes, it's true. The avocado toast eating generation is upset with one of the greatest television sitcoms of all time, Seinfeld. A new article published by Bustle revealing the Soup Nazi tops the list as the most offensive jokes on a show about nothing. Here to weigh in is Morgan Ortegas, national security analyst, and Jennifer Holdsworth, a Democratic strategist. This is a lighthearted segment. No big witty Iran questions or whatnot here, but I got to get you to weigh in here. Jennifer, let's start with you. Soup Nazi, I mean, are we really offending the millennials out there?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that we can really count on Bustle for the hard-hitting news of the day. I think this is a complete non-issue. Nobody's offended. There's even a famous rapper from D.C. named Wally who raps about Seinfeld because he loves it so much. And he's great with the new generation of millennials, too. So I think this is much ado about nothing. It was a great show for the 90s. Everybody's nostalgic for it. You can get it on Netflix. You can get Friends on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar. I can tell you, I'm not as familiar with Wally, but you know, Friends also took this hit too. I'm kind of a huge Friends fan, but yeah. Seinfeld, are you offended by this?
No, I mean, listen, the stock market crashed today. The Chinese economy is down. But, Jason, it is so important that you and I are talking about Seinfeld. I mean, it's really...
But this is where millennials, I know.
No, I love Seinfeld. But I don't think it... Okay, I don't think it's millennials. Here's why I don't think it... So I think millennials are born... I'm like a grandma millennial. I was born in 82, and I think it goes to like 95, 96. So I'm going to say this isn't millennials. This is this jerk generation behind us doing it, not the millennials.
All right, fair enough, because I got to say, if you were born in 82, I won't even tell you
I'm an old lady. Old lady.
Can't do the math to get to my age here. I want to get to another topic, which is Bird Box, the most watched original Netflix movie ever, giving birth to a brand new challenge. You have to spend 24 hours blindfolded, like Sandra Bullock's character in the film. Tasks range from the mundane, like walking to the, walking dangerously, to driving. Don't ever do that. Don't be an idiot and do that. Netflix even putting out a statement in all caps, which means they really, really mean it. They put out a statement that says, please do not hurt yourselves with this Bird Box challenge. I don't know if you've seen Bird Box, but Morgan,
I think this is what happens at the end of like family time over Christmas whenever the booze ran out. And so people start just blindfolding themselves because they're stir crazy and they really want their family to go home.
So it's not
but if I see you in a parking lot and you're doing this, I'm totally going to trip you. I just want to put it out there. I'm going to make fun of you.
Yeah, if you ever see me walking anywhere with a blindfold.
I might trip you anyway, Jason.
Yeah, well, I believe that. I know Morgan.
I'm probably going to call the Capitol Police if I see
Have you tried this? Have you seen the show?
I have not seen the movie. I think I'm probably one of 5 people in the United States of America who has not seen it yet. I do plan on watching it, although I understand Kim Kardashian and Chrissy Teigen had a little bit of a kerfuffle on Twitter today over Bird Box, but it's really permeating the national conversation.
I think we actually have some footage of this. We have footage of this, I think. Let's watch this.
Right, turn slightly to your right. Come forward. Come forward.
Stacy.
Serious? Yes. Come listen. Follow my voice. Yes, listen. Oh, we're doing better than we expected, guys. Careful out. There's a wall in front of us.
Oh my God.
Idiots. Idiots is the only word that comes to mind.
I've got an idea. You know how all the Democrat challengers now think they have to be like AOC and make macaroni and cheese in front of Instagram? This is what they should do for the primary. They should all put this on and do the Bird
Yeah, I mean,
challenge.
Elizabeth Warren,
Totally.
Hey, I have
Maybe
to
she'd
get a
be more
beard.
relatable.
Yeah. Well,
As a Democrat, I support that.
Me too. I definitely want to see the Democrats doing that.
All right, one more thing before we go. The British Army is having a tough time recruiting lately, so they launched a new ad campaign targeting millennials. This is how they supposedly do it. These are phone zombies, snowflakes, and selfie addicts. The British Army Major General Paul Nansen telling Sky News, quote, "We are proud to look beyond the stereotypes and spot the potential in young people from compassion to self-belief." I'm not exactly sure what that quote means, but somehow that's where the next British soldier is coming from. Is this how we're going to find them?
I mean, I guess so. I think, on a serious note, that they're neglecting the fact that a lot of millennials are fighting in the military in a lot of countries right now. As a technical millennial as well. I was born in 1981, though right on the cusp there.
We're grandma millennials.
We are right on the cusp there. I tend to identify with Generation X more than millennials, but look, I think anything that gets more people to join the armed forces is a good thing. If somebody can see more potential in themselves through these ads, then I say more power to them.
Shouldn't we be checking to see if they can do like sit-ups as opposed to whether or not they're watching Bird Box or their snowflakes?
I've got a new slogan. The few, the proud, the snowflakes.
Yes.
It has a nice ring to it.
You got to get up and actually get some exercise.
I'm a better recruiter for the U.S. military.
Well,
I'm a Navy Reserve officer. Come on, people.
She did.
Join the Navy.
She served in Iraq. You served in Saudi Arabia. Thank you for your country, as a service to your country. Yes, as a civilian, but nevertheless away from your family and loved ones and out there.
Not doing the blind box challenge.
Yes. Listen, thank you both for coming here. It's kind of fun.
Thank you for having us.
We do appreciate it. We'll be right back with your last bite.
You need a job. And I need assistance.
But don't your arms work?
They don't.
How much does it pay? Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. It's my bad, man. Think about what you're trying to do to me. Sound just like
it's uncanny.
animals collapsed on your face. Oh no, that's a beard. Talk to me.
I look like
a porn star.
The Upside, based on a true story. Rated PG-13.
I need a password for our new investment account.
We haven't used the dog's name lately.
But it needs 10 characters and a symbol.
Okay, add Katie's birthday and a $sign.
Ah.
Did you put the $sign before or after Katie's birthday?
I have to start over.
We all have too many passwords, and it's a hassle to keep track of them all. Create and manage strong passwords with Dashlane. Dashlane generates ultra-secure passwords with a click and remembers them for you. Dashlane automatically logs you into all of your favorite websites. No more mistakes or retyping. Dashlane even autofills forms, create new accounts, or check out online in a flash. Your data is fully encrypted and stored on your device. Only you have access. Dashlane is 5-star rated and trusted by millions of users. It works on your computer, tablet, or phone. And best of all, it's free. Dashlane. Simple, secure password management. Go to dashlane.com and download it now.
The all-new Sandals Montego Bay, Jamaica's newest and hottest resort. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Travis Stork, and if you've ever seen me on television, you already know my passion is helping people live longer, healthier lives. Did you know that 1 out of 3 Americans suffers from high blood pressure? And the older you get, the greater the risk. So I was excited when I came across the Zona Plus. It's a drug-free, software-controlled handheld device which uses the proven science of isometric therapy to help lower blood pressure naturally.
As a physician who has experienced great results with the Zona Plus, I would not hesitate to recommend it to anyone.
I've been using it now for about 1.5 years and I absolutely love it.
If you've been recently diagnosed with high blood pressure or you've been dealing with it for years, you could benefit from adding the Zona Plus to your treatment plan.
And with the company's fantastic 90-day money-back guarantee, backed by a full refund of the purchase price, there's no risk. You have everything to gain by giving Zona Plus a try for 90 days. Call now at 800-311-6730 or visit us online at zonaplus.com.
You love your freedom, but is joint pain holding you back? Unlike other creams, Joint Flex helps strengthen joints and gives quick and long-lasting pain relief. Flex your freedom with Joint Flex.
Hannity is #1. The most watched program in cable news for 2 consecutive years.
Perspective I promise you will get nowhere else.
America agrees. No one does it better than Sean. Fox News Channel. Real news, real honest opinion.
It's time for The Last Bite. Earlier tonight, I took on defending champion Lauren Blanchard on Tucker Carlson's final exam. How'd that turn out? Well, the Ingram Angle team is now questioning my knowledge and cat-quick reflexes. Have a look.
What kind of drink did she get? What is his name?
It's President Obama.
Speed is of the essence.
Yeah. Can I get a lesson on buzzer?
You know, the judges were just saying, would you like to take a practice buzz right now?
Yes.
Okay, just practice buzz.
Okay.
It's working.
All right. I've never been known for my cat quick reflex.
I know. I
get that. I get that.
What kind of animal is the Georgia mascot? Holy smokes. Lauren Blanchard, highest score ever achieved on this show.
Ooh.
Congressman, I don't judge you for a second.
I got spanked. And this is the mug right here that I did not win. That's all the time we have tonight. I'm Jason Chaffetz in for Laura Ingram. Please sure to pick up my new book, a New York Times best-selling book, The Deep State. But now it's time for Shannon Bream and the Fox News at Night team. Take it from here.
Hey, listen, just showing up and taking the quiz challenge, you get points for that.
Well, that's all I did.
Everyone...
So that's what it takes to get points, because I didn't even hit the buzzer in time. I got skunked.
I'll get you a mug. I know someone. Okay.
I'm going to have to steal it if I'm going to get one. I'm not going to earn it. I tell you that.
All right, Jason, great show. Great to see you tonight. We begin with the Fox News alerts. Making history, Nancy Pelosi taking the Speaker's gavel again today, and with the Democratic control of the House, she says she welcomes a new dawn of bipartisanship in our nation's capital. And tonight, top Democrats are calling for bipartisanship, too. They want Republicans to help them investigate the president. It's all happening amid the partial government shutdown. Tonight, Fox News at Night will investigate the language of the bills that the House Democrats just passed to reopen the government. Pro-life activists worried by what's in the new measures as they now head to the Senate. Hello and welcome to Fox News at Night. I'm Shannon Bream in Washington. We've got Fox team coverage tonight. Chris Steyerwalt is here with his to-do list for the 116th Congress. But first, correspondent Leland Vittert on the latest on Capitol Hill, where I understand the House has voted on a set of measures to fund the government, but not the wall. Good evening, Leland.
Exactly, Shannon. And look no further than how late Speaker Pelosi kept the new Congress tonight for proof that she wanted this day to be about her and trying to corner the president, as you noted, with bills that don't fund the wall. Fair to say, he had other ideas, and about 4:30 this afternoon changed the conversation.
Nice. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody.
Walking into the press briefing room for the first time, President Donald Trump gave bipartisanship just a few seconds of airtime.
I just want to start off by congratulating Nancy Pelosi on being elected Speaker of the House. It's a very, very great achievement. And hopefully we're going to work together and we're going to get lots of things done.
And then doubled down on his Instagram meme.
I have never had anything like it in terms of calls coming in terms of people writing in and tweeting and doing whatever they have to do. I've never had this much support.
Border Patrol agents flanking the president backed up that statement, despite foregoing pay during the shutdown.
I worked in Naco, Arizona for 10 years. We didn't have physical barriers in Naco, and illegal immigration and drug smuggling was absolutely out of control.
We are all affected by this shutdown. We have skin in the game. Ask yourself this question. If I come to your home, do you want me to knock on the front door, or do you want me to climb through that window?
Hours before, on the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue, Nancy Pelosi became the first speaker to reclaim the gavel since the 50s, with a seeming nod to bipartisanship.
He said, if we ever close the door to new Americans, our leadership role in the world will soon be lost. Ronald Reagan.
This morning, she made it clear what those words meant policy-wise.
Are you willing to come up and give him some of this money for the wall? Because apparently that's the sticking point.
No, nothing. No. How many more times can we say no? Nothing for the wall.
And while Pelosi's Democratic caucus voted on measures to reopen the government, the vice president matched the speaker's defiance.
So the bottom line is you will not accept a deal that does not include a wall, if I'm hearing this right.
I think the president's made it very clear.
Yes.
There's no wall, no deal.
On the power to enforce that threat, of course, comes with a presidential veto. It's unclear, Shannon, if Republicans in the Senate will force the president to use the veto or provide some protection from these bills the House just passed.
All right, Leland, thank you very much. Minute-by-minute updates here. Well, on the first day of the new Congress, some Democratic members are not listening to leadership. California lawmaker Brad Sherman reintroducing articles of impeachment against President Trump. He says, I continue to believe that obstruction of justice is the clearest, simplest, and most provable high crime and misdemeanor committed by Donald J. Trump. Well, this evening, Nancy Pelosi's top lieutenants hit the airwaves to explain their agenda going forward. Intel Chairman Adam Schiff says he is interested in bipartisanship if it means Republicans on his committee wish to join his investigation of the president, which he plans to ramp up.
This is the most precarious time in my lifetime in terms of our republic. We have a president who denigrates the freedom of the press, who goes after the independence of the judiciary, and in so many ways, I think, is threatening the livelihood of our democracy. The answer to that cannot be more of the same.
Meanwhile, the new chair of the House Finance Committee has called for President Trump's impeachment many, many times and has vowed, in her words, to get him. Democrat Maxine Waters says she'll be investigating the president via the banking system.
We've been trying to find out about the money ties to Russia through Deutsche Bank. We know that Deutsche Bank lends this president, I have loaned him a lot of money, and we want to know whether or not some money laundering is going on. So we'll do a little of that. We'll do some of that, continuing our work.
Another Democratic Congressman, Hank Johnson, repeatedly likened President Trump to Hitler in his speech on New Year's Day, commemorating the anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation.
Libertarian, immigrant, racist, strong man to the nation's highest office. Much like Hitler took over the Nazi Party, Trump has taken over the Republican Party.
So Johnson attempted to clarify his remarks later, telling a local publication the point of his message is that democracy is under threat, and if America is not vigilant, tyranny will set in. All right, so both sides talking tough while also calling for bipartisanship. Is there a way out of the impasse? I'd say there are many impasses. Let's bring in Fox News politics editor Chris Sirewalt. Is it impasses when you pluralize it? I don't know.
Impasses. I think we can just go. I think for Florida and West Virginia people, we can just go for impasses.
Okay, we'll keep it simple. We'll keep it simple. All right, I want to read a little bit from the Wall Street Journal editorial board. They call this, the title is Enter the House of Pelosi. It says the main Democratic goal will be investigating, not legislating. They go on to say voters may think they sent Democrats to Washington to check Mr. Trump's unpresidential habits. Americans may soon discover that they've invested those hopes in more polarization and vitriol. What should we expect, Chris?
Well, it just depends on what happens out of this shutdown business. Look, all of that stuff, all of that, just, that's a bunch of, as my mother would have said, bar talk from both Republicans and Democrats. All of that stuff is fine to say. But the matter at hand is totally determinative at this moment. The government is shut down. Markets are not happy. The consequences are racking up. It's not good for either party, but it's particularly not good for a president who needs to be able to get things going again. He needs to at least take one hot poker out of his eye right now. That would be good for him if he could get one of these things out of his way. So how Pelosi is able to navigate this, how the Senate responds, what the president's going to do, we are heading for an absolute pile up here in this demolition derby, and we're going to see.
Yeah, and we all talk about here in Washington and beyond the fact that the president likes to have an opponent. He likes to have somebody to spar with, and he's actually said nice things about the new speaker, Nancy Pelosi. So there's a kind of an interesting conversation about what sort of relationship they really will have. In the meantime, she seems to be having fun with this too. She said no money for the wall. Today she was asked about, would you give at least $1? Here was her response.
$1? $1.
So
$1? Yeah, $1.
How high was you willing to go? Are you willing to go?
No, you said $1. You said $1.
So how high are you willing to go?
Well, that's not your question. You said $1. I'm answering your question.
So, listen, we know the House passed these two measures tonight. Probably not going to pass the Senate. Even if it did, the president is not going to sign this. So what do we do next? Where does this go?
So that we're stuck in the same place we've been all along. The wall isn't a wall. The fence isn't a wall. It's just a stupid semantic game. And this is both parties treating their political bases like a bunch of suckers. You know the old saying about what you do with your political base. You treat them like mushrooms. You keep them in the dark and you cover them with horse manure. You have two parties here that are fighting over nothing, an infinitesimal rounding error, and they both want more money for border security. And it's a difference of just a couple $2 billion, which is nothing for a government this wasteful. It's a ridiculous joke. And this is just a question of when will one or the other feel enough pain in this to lose face, knuckle under, and sign off and let it go.
Yeah, we don't see the end of the road just yet.
No.
But we are on a new 116th Congress, so we will see how this plays out. Meanwhile, a great to-do list from you outlining what the Democrats are going to be all about in today's halftime report. Folks should check it out. Your advice to them or where they go next. All right, Chris, you and your impasses, we will see you again soon.
Happy.
Thank you. All right, a leading conservative voice in the House is firing back at the new Democratic majority already. Quote, "We knew they couldn't help themselves," tweets Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. Rep. Sherman files articles of impeachment on the president. Dems are more focused on stopping Trump than building the wall and helping the country. Okay, so during the speakership vote today, my next guest voted for Jordan instead of voting for the new GOP minority leader, Kevin McCarthy. He also got a vote himself for the leading role. Joining us now is Republican Congressman from Kentucky, Thomas Massie. Great to have you with us tonight.
Thanks for having me in the studio.
Okay, let me ask you, curiously, why did you vote for Jordan over McCarthy today?
Jordan said, let's do what we told the people we would do when we campaigned. And, when it looked like we might still be in the majority, Jordan was running for Speaker. And I pledged my vote to him for Speaker, and I followed through, even though it's a vote for Minority Leader. And I think that's what people want us to do. They want us to just do what we said we would do. And it was an easy vote for me. Now, I did get one vote for Speaker.
You did.
I tied with Joe Biden. He got one vote.
The Speaker vote's always very fun to watch.
It is fun to watch. It was more fun to watch the Democrat side because they had fractures over there that you're starting to see. Mm-hmm. Some of their members who are to the left of Nancy Pelosi, if you can imagine that, were fracturing away from her. But she was able to hang on in the Speaker vote. And that's where all the drama was, really.
It was. Okay, so tonight, more drama. Just a short time ago, you guys were over on the Hill voting on some measures to get the government reopened and funded. Obviously, the Democrats are in control now, so what they offer up is not going to be the ideal package that you're going to want to see.
Right.
But as I asked Chris, this goes to the Senate now. The president has said he will not sign this stuff without wall funding. Nancy Pelosi says you get $0 for the wall, maybe $1.
Right.
So how in the world do you resolve this while the American people and 800,000 federal government workers wait for a solution?
Well, I think we all forgot that cartoon we watched, Schoolhouse Rock. When the Senate passes a bill and the House passes a bill dealing with the same topic and their differences, they both appoint members to a conference committee who go together and negotiate a compromise bill, which then goes back to each chamber. That's the old Schoolhouse Rock cartoon. And then each chamber votes on it up or down. No amendments can be offered. And so that's really where I think we should go next. But as you saw Pelosi, she doesn't want to give $1 for the wall.
Maybe one, she said.
And I agree with Chris. This is a rounding error in our federal budget. I mean, not to take it lightly, but we spent $100 billion on disaster relief for Texas, Florida, and California and Puerto Rico last year. That's $100 billion for those disasters. What about the disaster at our border? Can't we spend $5 billion on that?
Well, let me ask you about Senator Cory Gardner, a Republican, who says we should not be figuring out this wall funding in the midst of funding the wall. He says we should pass the bipartisan appropriations bills. That includes money for border security. While we continue to fight for more border security money, Congress needs to take further action on border security, but that work should be done when it's fully open, when the government's funded.
No, I think this is where Trump needs to make his stand. He's got a good position. 3/4 of the government is entitlements. That goes on whether we vote for it or not. That's not shut down. And of the appropriations, 3/4 of that is funded. The military is funded, Department of Education, Department of Labor. There's a lot of government that has been funded. So we're talking about 1/4 of a quarter that's not funded right now. The president is right to take his stand here.
You say use leverage. Before you go, I want to ask you, today you have reintroduced your bill. It's bipartisan.
Yes.
To audit the Fed. Does it go anywhere? What happens next?
It's passed twice in the House with a veto-proof majority. And now I think the president could support something like this. Like he's not
has some issues with the Fed.
He's not a big fan of the Fed. So I think it's the best time now, more than ever, to pass audit the Fed. I think the president would sign it. And we just need to get it passed in the Senate.
Okay, well, we will watch. Keep us updated because
All right.
a lot of Americans out there, they want to get their eyes on some of that information, too.
Thanks,
All
Sharon.
right, Congressman, great to have you with us tonight.
Good to be here.
All right, newly sworn in House Speaker Nancy Pelosi inviting President Trump to deliver his second State of the Union address January 29th. Speaker Pelosi says she looks forward to welcoming the president to Capitol Hill. Well, the Me Too movement looming large over potential 2020 candidates as a top Democratic senator throws her support behind Joe Biden. So we're digging into that surprise, very early endorsement tonight. And we'll tell you about a little known rule that's changing in 2020, how it could hurt Bernie Sanders if he decides to run again. Tonight's Power Panel is here to debate. We're live with Leslie, Guy, and Boyd after the break. Stick around.
Guess what day it is?
Holy smokes.
Hey, Kurt. Are you watching the best of Geico?
I sure am, Linda. They've been saving folks money for years. And now they're re-airing some of their all-time greatest hits with classics like Hump Day, Caveman Airport, and even Celebrating Squirrels.
This crudité is great, but those Geico ads are even better.
But that's not all. Vote today and you can enter for a chance to appear in an upcoming Geico commercial. Just visit geico.com/bestuff.
Oh, Geico.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled commercial for this important announcement.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. A recent clinical sleep study confirms that MyPillow does change and improve the quality of your sleep. It proved you get less sleep interruptions on MyPillow. It increases your restorative deep sleep. It helps reduce your snoring, and it improves the oxygen levels to help you wake up feeling refreshed. And there's so much more. Since inventing MyPillow, I've had hundreds of thousands of people tell me that MyPillow has changed their lives.
I sleep better.
I wake up, I feel refreshed, I feel healthy.
I would wake up multiple times throughout the night, not getting into a deep sleep until I found MyPillow. I did not have a solution, and now I do.
Call or go to MyPillow.com now. Use this promo code and Mike will give you a second MyPillow absolutely free. Hurry, this offer ends February 1st.
MyPillow works because you can adjust my patented fill to get the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota, and I back it with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty.
The same research study also showed that a full 78% of participants showed improvement in their sleep. 78%!
Before MyPillow, sleeping was a nightmare. First night I got it, slept like a baby. Just was out, completely out.
So if you want to fall asleep faster, get deep restorative sleep, have less snoring interruptions, and wake up feeling more refreshed, don't wait another minute. Order your very own MyPillow now.
I personally guarantee that MyPillow will be the most comfortable pillow you'll ever own.
Call or go to MyPillow.com now. Use this promo code and Mike will give you a second MyPillow absolutely free. That's right, 2 MyPillows for the price of 1. Hurry, this offer ends February 1st.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Children of abuse, a prayer answered, and the heartwarming ending you have to see to believe. Martha's interview with the inspiring Shaw family, tomorrow on The Story.
A business owner always goes beyond what people expect. That's why we built the nation's largest gig speed network, along with complete reliability. Then went beyond. Beyond clumsy dial-ins and pins, to one-touch conference calls. Beyond traditional TV, to TV on any device. Beyond low-res surveillance video, to crystal clear HD video monitoring from anywhere. Gig-fueled apps that exceed expectations. Comcast Business, beyond fast.
Because of you, I felt hopeless. I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me. Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included and I knew that I was going to be okay. For the field of aspiring 2020 Democratic candidates, the Me Too movement looms large. Still, the Senate Democrat who led the charge against Justice Brett Kavanaugh, Dianne Feinstein, is throwing her weight behind former Vice President Joe Biden instead of, for example, Democratic Senator Kamala Harris, who hails from the same state and may run. Trace Gallagher is looking into a surprising, very early endorsement tonight. Hey, Trace.
Shannon, if California Democratic Senator Kamala Harris decides to run for president, she won't have the backing of her California colleague Dianne Feinstein. Today, the 5-term incumbent said her preferred choice for president is former Vice President and Delaware Senator Joe Biden. Quoting here, Joe was chairman of the Judiciary Committee when he came to this place. I've watched him as vice president. I've seen him operate. I've seen him perform. He brings a level of experience and seniority, which I think is really important. But Biden was also Judiciary Chair during the Clarence Thomas Supreme Court confirmation and has been widely criticized for his handling of the Anita Hill questioning. To this day, Biden says Hill was vilified and that he wishes he could have done more to prevent those questions. Critics say he chose not to do more. Dianne Feinstein has also been criticized by Republicans for her part in bringing forth uncorroborated and decades-old sexual misconduct allegations by Christine Blasey Ford against then Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Meantime, if Joe Biden does decide to run in 2020, he could get a boost over Bernie Sanders. One of the reasons Sanders did so well against Hillary Clinton in 2016 is because he dominated in states that voted by caucus, winning 12 out of 18. Experts say it allowed him to capitalize on his small but fervent base of supporters. But several states that caucused in 2016 will hold primaries in in 2020, and primaries tend to have higher turnouts and favor candidates with wider support. For example, in 2016, Bernie Sanders only won 11 of 39 primary states. Though Sanders' 2016 campaign manager Jeff Weaver says switching from caucuses to primaries will have zero effect on a Sanders 2020 run. But if the caucuses don't damage a potential Sanders run, sexual harassment allegations might. More than 24 men and women who worked for his 2016 campaign say it was replete with sexual violence and harassment. Sanders says that will be addressed. Shannon.
Trace Gallagher, thank you very much. So, will Democrats line up behind Biden at the expense of Sanders? Lots to discuss there. Time for tonight's Power Panel. Fox News contributors Leslie Marshall and Guy Benson, and opinion editor at the Deseret News, Boyd Matheson. Welcome and Happy New Year to all of you.
Happy New Year, Shannon.
Okay, so a couple different things I want to talk about with Bernie Sanders. First of all, I want to play a little bit of his apology after this letter came forward and the allegations among a number of people who worked on his campaign in 2016.
So I certainly apologize to any woman who felt that she was not treated appropriately. And of course, if I run, we will do better next time. I was a little bit busy running around the country trying to make the case.
Leslie, I'll start with you. I mean, there were people on both sides of the aisle, including a lot of women, who felt like that wasn't exactly the best apology. I'm sorry if someone felt a certain way. They feel like he could do better and maybe he should take another stab at it.
Well, I think, and I'm with those women that feel that way, or men that feel that way as well. Look, you know, you have people that said, we came to individuals within the campaign. It's the Bernie Sanders campaign. He was the captain of the ship. He needs to know more. He needs to have done more. Going forward, I think it's great that they're going to have a dedicated toll-free hotline. So if anybody feels uncomfortable or wants to make a complaint, that is set up. I think that's a good first step. But I think more has to be done. We're in a Me Too movement, and we've just had a record number of women sworn in today in the House and the Senate and Congress.
Boyd, do you think long-term it does anything to him if he decides to run again?
I don't think it's going to have a long-term impact, but it's going to be based on what does he do next? What does the campaign look like? Who does he have in key positions within the campaign? They were a very white, very male, top-end heavy leadership over the campaign. And so a lot of it's going to be, does he really engage in the conversation, and does he do something to change the dynamics of the dialogue? Or does he just kind of keep making half excuses, half issues?
Well, to that point, though, Guy, I heard people discussing today this, one reaction was they were too white and they were too male. A lot of people thought that's sort of ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't get to the fact of who was potentially engaging in inappropriate behavior. I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with race or gender. Anybody can be guilty of that kind of behavior. And It really, if you say the way to solve our campaign problem is to make it more diverse based on race and gender, instead of hiring people with the best skills or the best political instincts, I mean, is that the way to go?
No, I mean, I'm pro-merit and I'm against identity politics, which I think is often toxic. But that is not the problem, as you allude to. The problem is there was apparently rampant behavior, not just one or two complaints, but dozens of people who either experienced it themselves or saw it. And for Bernie, who is at the head of the campaign, sort of the CEO of this corporation, he wants to run the country, to say, oh, I knew nothing about any of this. Sorry if people were offended. I was a little busy. I don't think that's a great answer, A. And B, if he runs, and if the Democratic field is packed, which I think it will be, and things start getting nasty, I think this could become a serious problem from him if there are especially females on those debate stages who feel like, and I say stages because they might have more than one,
right?
They feel like he is a threat. They want to box out some of his voters. This could get dredged up, and if he gives answers like that, it's not going to help.
Well, and as much as Democrats have been talking about this idea of diversity and a fresh new class of faces and people coming through the ranks and through their bench, I mean, consistently the polling continues to show three white guys at the top: Beto, Biden, and Bernie. Not in that order, but I know they're concerned about that too. So we'll see when the rubber meets the road whether it's really a more diverse ticket. All right, I want to turn to this issue too. Rich Lowry had a piece out today that talked about Democrats' opposition to the border wall and the fact that many of them have voted for similar things in the past, but now they have gone a whole new level. Part of what he said here about the fact that they don't seem to want any kind of infrastructure at all. He says in the piece, their opposition to President Trump's border wall is now so total as to be nearly indistinguishable from opposition to any serious infrastructure at the border at all, Boyd.
Yeah, I think their biggest problem is that they are on the verge of doing something that is either just irresponsible or irrational. They're getting so far down the path of we're just going to say no to everything, calling the wall immoral and all of those kinds of things doesn't do anything to advance the cause. And it's getting to the point where the American people are saying, wait a minute, are we not a country? Do you not believe that we should have any kind of border at all? And I think the one thing that the Democrats have to remember, especially in the House, now that they're in power, is restraint always works. If they want to use this as a fight just so they can have a fight with President Trump, they'll probably lose that in the end. Restraint always works, and just because they can do something to keep the government shut down, to just keep things as they are, doesn't mean they should. And so they need to take a look in the restraint department and look at the rationality department to make sure they know what they're doing and why.
Well, and Leslie, Rich raises this idea of the rationality of a double standard or something by invoking President Obama. And this is what he says. He says Democrats are treating the notion of a wall as practically a human rights abuse. President Barack Obama routinely droned people without generating as much high dudgeon as Trump does, asking for $5 billion to better fortify our southern border. I mean, Leslie, is this all political?
It's not all political, but really, where is the motivation for Democrats to fulfill a campaign promise of a Republican president that many of them, with a 40-seat gain and a huge blue wave in the House, campaigned on, along with immigration? Look, what Democrats need to do, and I think they will come out ahead, even if the Senate says no and the president doesn't sign it, is they have to look at comprehensive immigration reform, things that are really going to secure our border, and a wall isn't going to do it. The majority of people that come here undocumented and stay come via plane. In the state of California, we have sanctuary cities on a state level that have to be addressed. So I think that, quite frankly, if they speak to what the people want and elected them to do, and they do pass something that is comprehensive, that includes border security without a wall, a physical wall across the southern border with Mexico, I think it will be a win for the Democrats, because I think that's echoing the sentiments of the people, so say the polls in the election.
Well, and also in the spirituality piece, Guy, he says that he thinks that the president probably has the upper hand here, but the way this has been rolled out is not working. He says Trump has the better part of the argument, but his lurch into the shutdown with no discernible strategy and his scattershot pronouncements make it unlikely that his view will carry the day.
Yeah, the Democrats are wrong on the merits on the immigration issue in many respects, but the president and the Republicans, by extension, have bungled this entire thing, because they've basically said, through the president, that we're going to own the shutdown. And then, yes, we're going to pass this thing out of the Senate unanimously. Oh, wait, we don't like that anymore. Now we won't sign the same thing that we just passed out of the Senate. It's sort of a mess when it comes to messaging. But again, I think the Democrats, I agree partially with what Leslie said, that there has to be a multi-pronged approach to this. But one of those elements has to be a physical border, barrier along more of the southern border. This is something that almost every Democrat in the Senate voted for in 2006, voted for years later in the Gang of 8 legislation. And if Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, is now saying that walls are immoral, by logical extension, should she not be campaigning to have the existing walls torn down as a moral crusade against these horrible barriers? I mean, that is a ludicrous public policy position.
Well, something tells me we're not going to get that piece of legislation, even if she doesn't give him $1 for the wall at all. Guy, Boyd, and Leslie, thank you all very much. And Leslie, you did hear Guy say he agrees with part of what you said.
I was going to ask you, Shannon, we have that on tape, right? We have that on tape?
We do. All right, thank you all very much. Come back soon.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you.
All right, Republican leaders say Democrats are wasting no time prioritizing abortion, and there are allegations tonight it may involve your tax dollars. Fox News at Night is investigating the language of brand new legislation, how Democrats are trying to reverse a policy that pro-lifers have been celebrating.
Today's minibus eliminates a crucial pro-life foreign policy that's in place today.
Jamu Green and Marjorie Dannenfels are here with analysis from both sides of this issue, live right after the break.
Never upgrade to 3-ply. It will ruin regular toilet paper forever. And never get Hulu. With live TV and exclusive originals, it's basically the 3-ply of TV. Come in!
When it comes to hotels, we're very demanding. We want a pool. A cool pool. 24-hour room service. and a doctor on site. Just select the filters you need, and Trivago will compare prices from hundreds of websites worldwide. Hotel, Trivago.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain or knee pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace or knee brace covered by Medicare at little to absolutely no cost to you. Call the number on your screen right now to see if you qualify.
I've worked hard on the ranch all my life, and I just can't tell you how this back brace makes me feel so much better.
These professional-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, rheumatoid and osteoarthritis, spinal disorders, stenosis, and other painful back problems.
I'm a retired truck driver, and I put a lot of miles on my back, and this back brace helps me feel much better.
Our medical-grade durable knee braces are designed for those with osteoarthritis and general knee pain and weakness. Will you qualify for a Medicare-covered back brace or knee brace? There's only one way to find out. Call the Back and Knee Brace Center at 800-218-8932. That's 800-218-8932. That's 800-218-8932.
Thanks to my new knee brace, I can go shopping for the first time in months and not have to sit every 10 minutes.
Our accredited staff will handle all of the Medicare paperwork. And best of all, your brace is shipped directly to your home for free. Will you qualify for a Medicare-covered back brace or knee brace? There's only one way to find out. Call the Back and Knee Brace Center at 800-218-8932.
The brace was so easy to order. The people were friendly on the phone and handled everything for me. What a relief.
Will you qualify for a Medicare-covered back brace or knee brace? There's only one way to find out. Call the Back and Knee Brace Center at 800-218-8932. That's 800-218-8932. That's 800-218-8932.
These folks, they don't have time to go to the post office. They have businesses to grow, customers to care for, lives to get home to. They use Stamps.com. Print discounted postage for any letter, any package, anytime, right from your computer. All the amazing services of the post office, only cheaper. Get our special TV offer, a 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/TV and never go to the post office again.
The sheet reinvented, ridiculously soft. Chic's Performance Sheets, delivering the ultimate deep sleep experience.
If technical fabrics can improve athletic performance, why can't we apply that same concept to sheets?
Traditional cotton sheets trap heat and moisture, but Chic's patented fabrics transfer heat 2 times more effectively, breathe nearly 50% better, and wick moisture.
You sweat a little bit every single night, and Chic's will help keep you cool.
Chic's are wrinkle-free, have stay-fit corners, and best of all, Chic's feel ridiculously soft.
They're so much softer than any other sheet I've ever had.
Every time you climb into bed, you'll experience the Chic's sensation. Call or go to trychic's.com now to order your Chic's Performance Sheet set. You'll get 25% off when you use the promo code on your screen, plus 2 additional pillowcases at no cost. Act now to get free shipping. Sleep on Chic's for 30 nights, and if you're not satisfied, we'll give you a full refund. Go online and see how Chic's deliver the ultimate deep sleep experience.
This is Fox News Alert. The brand new Democratic majority has passed legislation they say will end the partial government shutdown. Republican leaders say the bill is dead on arrival to the Senate. There's no money for the border wall. President's not going to sign it. But there's another issue buried in the text that House Republicans are also not happy about. Correspondent Ellison Barber is digging in. She's got the details for us tonight. Hi, Ellison.
Hi, Shannon. Yeah, so the House passed a combined bill to reopen parts of the federal government through September 30th. The vote passed 241 to 190, with 7 Republicans joining Democrats to vote yes. The House also approved funding for DHS on an interim basis, but as you said, with no wall funding. None of it is expected to go any further. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell already said the Senate will not consider a bill that cannot pass their chamber and the president will not sign. For most opponents, including the White House, they disapprove of this proposal because it lacks funding for a physical barrier on the southern border. But for some, a major concern is abortion.
Sending money overseas for forced sterilization and forced abortion? That discussion belongs in committee, doesn't belong, again, added to a bill under the dark of night with no discussion.
This bill was supported by Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham,
among other senators.
Today's mini best eliminates a crucial pro-life foreign policy.
The United States does not and cannot fund abortions, period.
If what our colleague said is true, then we should just take this provision out of the bill.
Protecting life in global health assistance policy, also known as the expanded Mexico City policy, also known as the global gag rule. President Ronald Reagan instituted the policy in 1984 and announced it in Mexico City, hence that nickname. At its core, it prohibits federal funding for non-governmental organizations if they perform or actively promote abortion as a form of family planning. Since Reagan, it's been rescinded and reinstated a number of times. If a Democrat sat in the Oval Office, it went away. If a Republican sat in the Oval Office, it came back. President Trump brought it back and expanded it, applying it to things like the president's emergency plan for AIDS relief and the president's malaria initiative. Critics argue that there are communities where there's only one clinic around. If that clinic loses funding for giving someone an abortion referral, then a lot of people might not have access to all the other things they do, like making sure people have information related to HIV prevention, bed nets to keep malaria-carrying mosquitoes at bay. Supporters, they disagree. The Susan B. Anthony list, a pro-life group, says right now House Democrats are trying to, quote, foist a radical pro-abortion agenda on the nation by including a provision to get rid of this policy in their proposal to reopen the government. They say it makes American taxpayers complicit in the exportation of abortion. Late tonight, the House rejected a procedural move by Republicans hoping to get this provision taken out. It would have sent the six-bill spending package back to committee. That effort failed, 232 to 199. Shannon?
Ellison, thank you very much. Okay, so for more on this abortion language inside the House funding bills, let's bring in Fox News contributor Jamu Green. And from the pro-life Susan B. Anthony list, Marjorie Dannenfelser. Welcome to both of you.
Good evening, Shannon.
All right, Jamu, I want to start with this portion of a statement from Senator Marco Rubio today. He says this: it's nothing more than far left-wing theater, as these policies have no chance of passing the Senate or being signed by the president. I've consistently worked to ensure that taxpayer dollars are never spent on abortions at home or overseas, and will continue to do so to ensure this bill is defeated. Jamu, is this more about making a statement knowing that it's not actually going to be signed into law?
I think the statement is very clear that this policy is cruel. It was cruel under Ronald Reagan. It was cruel under both Presidents Bush. And unsurprisingly, President Trump expanded it and made it even more cruel. A few facts that I think are really important to this discussion. There are 230 million women who don't have access to contraception in this world. There are 830-something women a day that die from pregnancy-related complications. And the global gag rule that the U.S. has bounced back and forth from between Republican and Democratic administrations, one thing that we know for certain is that studies show it does nothing to reduce abortions. And in fact, Shannon, it actually increases the millions of unsafe abortions that happen in the world every year.
Let me bring
and
Marjorie
that leads to many deaths.
Okay, let me bring Marjorie in on that point, because today the new president of Planned Parenthood tweeted this: as a doctor, I know firsthand that abortion bans cost women their lives. Every day, for example, she says 320 Kenyan women are hospitalized and 7 die as a result of illegal abortion. So how do you respond to Jamu?
Well, I would say that I don't know that Jamu really understands what the policy is. Here's what the policy is. It prohibits any funding for any health-related organization that we participate in outside of the United States from in any way getting entangled in abortion. It has nothing to do with contraception. Contraception is not touched by this policy at all. It also does not take 1 penny away from any of those programs that do this. So what today happened by the new speaker was she took the day one of her leadership and made this a priority, contradicting a day one priority of President Trump when he instated this policy, and really, frankly, just decided to make a statement, because everyone knows that this is not going to get through the Senate, and everyone knows that the president will not sign this. It was just doing exactly the opposite of what she has said she wants to do as a leader of the Democratic Party, which is open up and make have a bigger tent on abortion policy, and instead it's just the same old story of making Americans pay for abortions and exporting abortions even to other countries, undermining their own cultural norms and their own laws in ways that make it very difficult in our negotiations with them on other issues.
Okay, I want to bring up a poll from Marist that was done in January of last year, so this is a year old. And they asked people how they feel about using tax dollars in any way to be connected to paying for abortions. 60% said they oppose or strongly oppose it. 36% said they support or strongly support it. So, Jammu, I mean, where do we go from there, knowing that Americans are opposed to any link between tax dollars and promoting or funding abortion?
This isn't about tax dollars funding abortions. And I am sorry, Marjorie, but I do know this policy. And I think the people who know this policy best are the doctors. You just had a segment, Shannon, talking to border control agents, or President Trump talking with border control agents, talking about they are the experts. They have skin in the game. Why do conservatives refuse to listen to the doctors who are very clear on how harmful this policy is to the World Health Organization? These are the experts on this issue, and yet conservatives and Republicans feel that their passion around this issue is more important than the science. It's more important than the health care. It's more important than the human right that health care is.
Okay, before we run out of time,
I would say,
I want to give Marjorie
it's not about me and Marjorie.
Let's
listen to the doctors.
It comes from countries all across Africa, all across the Mideast, that don't believe that abortion is legitimate. They think that contraception is, but they don't think abortion is. They don't appreciate it when we, through cultural imperialistic ideas, go in and try to lobby to overturn abortion laws in their countries and undermine the cultural values of those countries. And Americans definitely don't support abortion funding in this country, and they definitely don't support exporting abortion and funding abortions in other countries.
We're out of time, and we're clearly not going to solve this tonight, but we're glad both of you, we have both voices on either side of this conversation because it's an important one to have. Jammu and Marjorie, thank you both very much.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
Okay, major feat for China's space industry. Tonight, brand new pictures from the far side of the moon. And later, the British Army actually seeking snowflakes. Stick around for Where in the World. We'll fill you in on details.
So, Lionel, what does being able to trade 24/5 mean to you?
Well, it means I can trade after the market closes.
It's true.
So all evening long.
Ooh, so close. Yes, but also all
night through its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, all the time from sunset to sunrise.
Right, but you can trade
from darkness to light.
You're not gonna say it, are you?
Introducing the original Upwalker, the revolutionary new alternative to old-fashioned walkers and canes. The Upwalker is a safer, more secure way to get you up and walking and out of the house.
You walk totally upright. You don't walk with humped over shoulders.
It keeps me more erect, and it takes a lot of pressure off my back and my knees and my ankles. There's a lot less pain, so it makes me want to get out.
The Upwalker is revolutionary. A walker has the patient in the hunched over position, whereas when you have the Upwalker, you're able to walk upright and get a normal gait because your balance is there.
The Upwalker gives you increased stability, so there's less risk of falling.
I had a fear of her falling. She had a fear of falling. So with the Upwalker, we've eliminated that fear.
The Upwalker is lightweight, so it's easy to lift and maneuver through doors.
You know, when I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, I felt like I was trapped in my own house. But now with the Upwalker, it gives me the freedom to do what I want to do.
The Upwalker easily folds, adjusts to your height, and features ergonomic handbrakes, a sliding seat, padded sit-to-stand handles, and sturdy 8-inch wheels that glide over a variety of terrains. Just call or visit tryupwalker.com, and for a limited time you'll receive free shipping, plus a free beverage holder, free backrest, and free carrying bag. That's over $100 in total combined savings. Your Upwalker is backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee and comes fully assembled. So whatever your mobility issue, try the Upwalker today.
It's brought Mary's smile back again, and when she smiles, I smile.
It gets me out of the house. I feel free again. I feel alive again. I love it.
To save over $100, call 800-408-3000. That's 800-408-3000. Or visit tryupwalker.com. Act now.
Today is the day you're going to get motivated, get stronger, get closer. Start listening today to the world's largest selection of audiobooks on Audible. And now, get more. For just $14.95 a month, you'll get a credit a month good for any audiobook, plus 2 Audible originals, exclusive titles you can't find anywhere else. If you don't like a book, you can exchange it anytime. No questions asked. Automatically roll your credits over to the next month if you don't use them. With the free Audible app, you can listen anytime and anywhere. Plus, for the first time ever, you'll get access to exclusive fitness programs. A $95 value, free with membership. Start a 30-day trial today and your first audiobook is free. Cancel anytime and your books are yours to keep forever. Audible, the most inspiring minds, the most compelling stories. Text LISTEN16 to 500-500 to start your free trial today.
This is a Fox News alert. A manhunt is underway in Texas City, Texas. Police say they're searching for a suspect after 3 young children were found dead in an apartment. A woman also found injured with a gunshot wound to the head. Authorities were responding to a welfare check at the apartment when they discovered what had happened there. The person of interest, we're told, is 27-year-old Junaid Hashim Mahmoud. Check out the picture here. Authority 3 children found dead, a woman with a gunshot wound to the head as well. The search is on in Texas. Well, the first time ever tonight, there's a spacecraft on the far side of the moon, but it didn't come from the U.S. Instead, it is the latest achievement in China's space program. Correspondent Kristen Fisher tells us tonight about a serious challenge to what has long been America's supremacy in space.
This is the first picture ever taken from the surface of the far side of the moon, and it was taken by the Chinese Chang'e 4 probe. The feat puts China on the map as a global space power, on par with Russia and the United States. NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine called it an impressive accomplishment.
If we're going to compare awesomeness, I think it's important to understand that what China just did is a first in human history, and that's awesome. But it's also true that the United States of America just flew closer to the sun than any country on Earth, and we are now in orbit around Bennu, which is an asteroid in deep space.
But even though the U.S. is still the undisputed leader in exploring deep space, the Chinese lunar landing is a challenge to future American dominance in space, something President Trump has promised to protect with his Space Force.
We must have American dominance in space.
President Trump put the U.S. back on track to return to the moon in about a decade, and the Chinese have announced plans to do the same. A former NASA administrator has worried that the Chinese could win that race, but not the current one.
What we're trying to do now is something entirely different. This time when we go, we're going to stay.
The U.S. also faces threats in space from Russia and Iran. Iran has publicly announced plans to launch 3 rockets into space in the coming months. And today, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo warned the U.S. will not stand by and watch the Iranian regime's destructive policies place international stability and security at risk.
Iranian officials say they're simply trying to launch 3 satellites into space. But the U.S. and its allies worry that perhaps it's a disguise for a ballistic missile program. Shannon?
Kristen, thank you so much. Okay, we talked at the top of the show about how Speaker Pelosi promised bipartisanship when taking the gavel, but her acolytes are sending a message that sounds a lot less conciliatory. About an hour ago, one of the brand new freshman women in Congress taking things a step further, her comments. We're going to have to bleep them. Next, breaking news. Plus, he's facing 20 years in prison. Tonight, one of Chicago's most powerful city council members has been charged with attempted extortion. We'll take you to the Windy City after the break.
Here we come again. Applebee's All You Can Eat is back. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
1 millionth order.
Millionth order.
There goes our first big order.
44, 45, 46. How many of these did they order?
Oh, that's hot.
You know, we could sell these.
Nah.
We don't bake.
Opportunity. What we deliver by delivering.
When it comes to hotels, we're very demanding. We want a pool, a cool pool. We want 24-hour room service. And laundry service, too. Oh! It'd be great to have a kids club and a doctor on site. It seems difficult, but with Trivago, it's not. Just select the filters you need, and Trivago will compare prices from hundreds of websites worldwide. Easy. Find the ideal hotel for you. Hotel Trivago.
Killed in the line of duty by an illegal immigrant. The politics, the policy, and what should be done now. The slain officer's brother speaks out tomorrow on Fox and Friends.
Dump every mattress. 15 cents on the dollar. Queen size $199. Kings $299. Twins $79. Adjustables $99. Only once a year. Mattress clearance sale. Friday to the dump, to the dump, to the dump, dump, dump.
Attention oxygen therapy users. If you've been chained to an oxygen tank, then you know they're a burden. Tanks keep you from living the life you love.
I was on oxygen tanks, and I couldn't go anywhere, do much of anything. I didn't dare go far.
It's time to reclaim your independence with an Inogen 1 oxygen concentrator. Inogen makes its own oxygen from the air around you, so you'll never worry about running out of oxygen again.
I wasn't going to run out of oxygen ever, and it was like freedom. I got my life back. I really love my Inogen.
The Inogen 1 G4 is lightweight and compact. Plus, it's battery operated, so you can have oxygen anytime, anywhere.
Oh, do I think Inogen is worth the money? You better believe it's worth every single penny of it.
Call now for your free information kit. There's no obligation. Inogen. Oxygen anytime, anywhere.
Call 1-800-787-1894. That's 1-800-787-1894. Call now for your free information kit.
Attention! In 2015, the Internal Agency for Research on Cancer warned that overexposure to Roundup and other weed killers may increase the risk of developing non-Hodgkin lymphoma. More evidence found that Monsanto may have known that Roundup was likely linked to organ damage and cancer. A California jury found Monsanto's weed killer caused a groundkeeper's cancer and issued a verdict for $78 million. Call the Sentinel Group now.
Please call 800-687-3914.
Dump every rug. 15 cents on the dollar. 10,000 fine Oriental and handmade rugs. Once a year on this first Friday. Dump every rug. 15 cents on the dollar. To the dump, to the dump, to the dump, dump, dump.
Brand new Congress sworn in, and it's getting heated tonight during a Move On event today. Brand new Democratic Congresswoman from Minnesota, Rashida Tlaib, had some profane words for President Trump.
And when your son looks at you and says, "Mama, look, you won," bullies don't win. And I said, "Baby, they don't, because we're going to go in there, we're going to impeach the motherfucker."
Tlaib was sworn in earlier today to the 116th Congress with a copy of the Quran and in a traditional Palestinian gown. We'll put her down in the column of impeach. Well, tonight, one of the most powerful city council members in Chicago's history is facing 20 years in prison after being charged with attempted extortion. Correspondent Matt Finns in the Windy City with more. Matt.
Shannon, Alderman Ed Burke is the longest-serving member on Chicago's City Council, 50 years on the job, considered one of the most powerful men in this city. And today, in federal court, he posted a $10,000 bond, accused of extorting a Burger King. Burke has 48 hours to surrender his 23 weapons and a passport. 5 weeks ago, Alderman Burke's City Hall office was raided by federal authorities. A 37-page complaint reveals Alderman Burke is charged with extortion, allegedly trying to force a Burger King into giving business to his private law firm in exchange for the remodeling permits the fast food restaurant chain was seeking in Burke's ward. The complaint reveals federal investigators tapped Alderman Burke's cell phone. Recorded phone calls indicate Burke threatened to play hardball with the fast food restaurant and directed one of the company's executives to make a $5,600 donation to one of Burke's political friends. He faces up to 20 years in prison. Burke's attorney says they look forward to proving the alderman's innocence in court.
The transaction described in the indictment in the complaint does not make out extortion or an attempt to extort.
Burke's private law firm formerly represented President Trump's luxury tower in downtown Chicago, reportedly saving Trump Tower $14 million by appealing property tax bills. Burke is the longest-serving chair of Chicago's City Council Finance Committee and the sole steward of the city's $100 million workers' comp program. But today, outgoing Mayor Rahm Emanuel said it would be, quote, unacceptable for Burke to continue as chair. The Chicago alderman has faced federal scrutiny several times before, but has escaped charges. The Chicago alderman is also controversial for having taxpayer-funded bodyguards and a car, and now he's considered one of the most high-profile names the U.S. Attorney's Office has ever reeled in the city of Chicago. Shannon.
Matt, thank you very much. And by the way, police tell us, or we're getting reports tonight, that the story we gave you just a few minutes ago about 3 children being found dead, a woman shot in the head in Texas. A manhunt was on. We're told that the suspect has turned himself in. We'll get you more details as soon as we know more. Meanwhile, over in Houston, police are still looking for a suspect in the drive-by shooting death of 7-year-old Jasmine Barnes in a Walmart parking lot Sunday night. A number of celebrities have put up money for a reward to try to capture the shooter. And Houston Texans wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins says that Jasmine reminds him of his own daughter. So he's announced he's going to donate his entire paycheck from this Saturday's playoff game against the Colts to the child's family to try to help pay for funeral expenses, to everyone trying to bring in that perpetrator, to law enforcement, and everyone who's helping this family. You're all our midnight heroes tonight. Thank you for trying to get justice for Jasmine. We'll stay on that case. Most watched, most trusted, most grateful you spent the evening with us. Good night from Washington. I'm Shannon Breen.
Never add bacon. It ruins everything without bacon forever. And never get Hulu. With live TV intensive shows and movies, it's like the bacon of TV.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new MyPillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new MyPillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
Go to MyPillow.com or call now to get your very own MyPillow mattress topper. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Order now.
MyPillow topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
I can sleep all night through, and it's a miracle for me.
Mike's exclusive 3-layer design starts with a layer of MyPillow foam, providing you superior support and comfort. The second layer of transitional foam evenly distributes body weight and helps relieve uncomfortable pressure points for optimal comfort. Mike's ultra-soft outer layer is a patented temperature-regulating cover that helps keep you at your ideal sleeping temperature all night long. Unlike other sleep systems costing thousands, the MyPillow mattress topper takes comfort to a whole new level without any wires, remotes, or moving parts. Call now or go to MyPillow.com to order your MyPillow topper. Use the promo code to save 30%. When you do, Mike will give you 2 of his standard MyPillows absolutely free. That's right, 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off your MyPillow topper today. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Travis Stork, and if you've ever seen me on television, you already know my passion is helping people live longer, healthier lives. Did you know that 1 out of 3 Americans suffers from high blood pressure? And the older you get, the greater the risk. So I was excited when I came across the Zona Plus. It's a drug-free, software-controlled handheld device which uses the proven science of isometric therapy to help lower blood pressure naturally.
As a physician who's experienced great results with the Zona Plus, I would not hesitate to recommend it to anyone.
I've been using it now for about 1.5 years and I absolutely love it.
If you've been recently diagnosed with high blood pressure or you've been dealing with it for years, you could benefit from adding the Zona Plus to your treatment plan.
And with the company's fantastic 90-day money-back guarantee, backed by a full refund of the purchase price, there's no risk. You have everything to gain by giving Zona Plus a try for 90 days. Call now at 800-311-6730 or visit us online at zonaplus.com.
My name is Jeff Sheldon, and I'm the founder of UgMonk. Before ShipStation, it was crazy. Like, it's great when you see, 100 orders come in, but then you realize I got 100 orders that I actually have to ship out. ShipStation streamlined that whole process. The order data, the weights of the items, everything is seamlessly put into ShipStation. So when we print the shipping label, everything's pretty much done. It's so much easier. So now we're ready, bring on the orders.
ShipStation, the #1 choice of online sellers. Go to shipstation.com/TV and get 2 months free.
Hannity is #1, the most watched program in cable news for 2 consecutive years.
Perspective I promise you will get nowhere else.
America agrees. No one does it better than Sean. Fox News Channel. Real news, real honest opinion.
I just want to start off by congratulating Nancy Pelosi. Hopefully we're going to work together.
Is there any situation in which you would accept even $1 of wall funding? $1? Yeah, $1.
It is Friday, January 4th, and this is Fox and Friends First, happening right now at 4 a.m., a tale of two Washingtons. President Trump hopeful that he can work with the now Democrat-held House, except the left's new leader refuses to get on the same page. We're live in Washington, where the president's fight to fund the border wall is only ramping up. And new Congress, same stunts. The immediate calls for impeachment, why their plan may be dead on arrival. And a painting honoring our heroes with a Ground Zero cross could be taken down if atheists get their way. The war on religion taking over a local courthouse. Fox and Friends First starts right now.
Thursday, never looking back. It's Friday, I'm in love.
Good morning to you. You're watching Fox and Friends First on a pretty dark Friday morning here in New York City. I'm Heather Childers. Thank you so much for starting your day and ending your week with us. Some folks still on vacation, though, but hopefully you are with us. Thank you. Let's begin with this. Some folks who are not on vacation anymore, allegedly they are back at work. House Democrats passing a spending bill overnight to reopen the government on the first day in control. But it does not include money for a border wall. And both President Trump and Vice President Pence, they're making it clear, no funding, no deal. Doug Luzader's live for us in Washington as top lawmakers prepare to meet at the White House today. Good morning.
Good morning. Democrats think their position has strengthened after they have taken control of the House now. And under the gavel of new House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, they did pass a measure yesterday to fully fund the government without a provision for the president's border wall.
The president cannot hold public employees hostage because he wants to have a wall that is not effective in terms of its purpose, not cost effective in terms of what the opportunity cost it is of federal dollars to spend. And the president has said Mexico is going to pay for this.
President Trump, while congratulating Nancy Pelosi yesterday from the White House briefing room, made it clear that he will keep pushing for enhanced border security.
You can call it a barrier, you can call it whatever you want, but essentially we need protection in our country. We're going to make it good. The people of our country want it. I have never had so much support as I have in the last week over my stance for border security, for border control, and for, frankly, the wall or the barrier.
And as far as the measure passed yesterday by the House, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has made it very clear that the Senate will not even consider it. So, Heather, the standoff continues here. Back to you.
All right. Both sides digging in. Thank you so much, Doug.
Thanks.
Well, some other news we're following quickly for you. Fox News alert: a Texas man allegedly confesses to murdering his 3 young children and then shooting his wife. Junaid Hashim Mahmoud telling police, quote, "I killed my family," shortly before his arrest happened at an apartment complex less than 50 miles from Houston. Investigators say Mahmoud appeared to be incoherent and emotional. His children, all under the age of 5. His wife is currently being treated for a gunshot wound to the head. At least 7 people killed, including children, in a massive highway inferno. Several others were taken to the hospital, some with critical injuries. Police say 2 tractor trailers and 2 vehicles smashed into each other outside Gainesville, Florida. 50 gallons of fuel spilling onto the roadway, igniting a fireball. It's unclear what caused this crash. And the fiancé of that missing Colorado mom is heading back to court today. Patrick Frazie's attorneys expected to argue over the release of sealed legal documents that contain evidence in Kelsey Barrett's disappearance. This, as the judge rules their 1-year-old daughter will stay in temporary custody of Barrett's parents. Frazie is charged with Barrett's murder. She was last seen on Thanksgiving morning. Well, a decorated Navy SEAL will be arraigned today for the killing of a young ISIS fighter in Iraq. Special Operations Chief Edward Gallagher is facing court-martial for premeditated murder at a naval base in San Diego. He's accused of killing the teen in 2017 after Iraqi forces turned him over to the Navy SEALs. Chief Gallagher denies all the charges and expected to plead not guilty today. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. His brother Sean Gallagher joins us on Fox and Friends at 6:20 this morning. Well, Nancy Pelosi retaking the gavel in a tight vote to become the Speaker of the House for the 116th Congress. And with full control of the House, many Democrats not wasting any time reintroducing articles of impeachment against President Trump. Todd Pyro joins us live to break it all down. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning to you, Heather. Despite talk of a far-left challenge, in the end, it was Nancy Pelosi sworn in as Speaker of the House.
I do. Congratulations, Madam Speaker.
The vote fell along party lines. Pelosi with 220 votes. Now House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy with 192 votes. And with their new power, House Democrats approved most of a sweeping new rules package that restricts new spending, defeating progressive blowback from the likes of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It also brings new ethics reforms that dramatically shakes up several key voting procedures and committees. As for those committees, the new chairs are Jerry Nadler, chair of the House Judiciary Committee, Adam Schiff, chair of the House Intel Committee, Elijah Cummings, chair of the House Oversight and Reform Committee, Maxine Waters, chair of the House Financial Services Committee, and Richard Neal, chair of the House Ways and Means Committee. A veritable who's who on the Trump impeachment express, which got off to an inauspicious start. California Democrat Brad Sherman reintroducing articles of impeachment against the president, with many in his own party, though, and party leaders saying the evidence isn't there yet. Republicans, as you might expect, fired up.
We're going to fight back. This is ridiculous. I mean, they have been trying to impeach this president from almost day one. If they could have filed articles of impeachment in November of 16 after he won the election, they would have done it then.
Sherman previously filed articles of impeachment in July 2017. That measure overwhelmingly failed. Heather?
Yeah, and Democrats voted to go home?
It's time to leave.
I mean,
it's good night.
Yeah, that's a lot
heck of 116th Congress. Let's go home.
Worn out. Okay, thank you so much, Todd. Well, new Democratic Congresswoman Rashid Tlaib taking the talk of impeaching President Trump one step further.
People love you, and you win. Woo! And when your son looks at you and says, "Mama, look, you won," bullies don't win. And I said, "Baby, they don't," because we're going to go in there, we're going to impeach them.
Yeah, it's so cool to cuss. Well, the Michigan lawmaker and first Palestinian woman in Congress making that pledge at a reception for the progressive group Move On near Capitol Hill. She also penned an op-ed on Thursday in the Detroit Free Press calling President Trump a direct and serious threat to America. Well, hours after being sworn in as House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi formally inviting President Trump to give his second State of the Union address on January 29th. Pelosi alluding to the new balance of power in her letter to the president, noting the Constitution established 3 co-equal branches of government to be a check and balance on each other. This will be the president's 3rd speech to a joint session of Congress. Well, the time now is about 8 minutes after the top of the hour, and President Trump not backing down on his border wall request as he prepares to meet with Democrats again today. So what will it take for the Democrats to budge on border security? El Conservador George Rodriguez says Democrats care more about illegal immigrants than American citizens, and he joins us up next. And 5 eyes, 5 arms, 4 legs, all American. The powerful photo of wounded vets now serving in Congress that you need to see.
God we trust, just living the dream and never giving up. And what we believe in. Yeah, we're all American and we work real hard, like the barbecue up every July 4th. Hot apple pie.
Today is the day you're going to get motivated, get stronger, get closer. Start listening today to the world's largest selection of audiobooks on Audible. And now, get more. For just $14.95 a month, you'll get a credit a month good for any audiobook, plus 2 Audible originals, exclusive titles you can't find anywhere else. If you don't like a book, you can exchange it anytime. No questions asked. Automatically roll your credits over to the next month if you don't use them. With the free Audible app, you can listen anytime and anywhere. Plus, for the first time ever, you'll get access to exclusive fitness programs. A $95 value, free with membership. Start a 30-day trial today and your first audiobook is free. Cancel anytime and your books are yours to keep forever. Audible, the most inspiring minds, the most compelling stories. Text LISTEN16 to 500-500 to start your free trial today.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain or knee pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace or knee brace covered by Medicare at little to absolutely no cost to you. Call the number on your screen right now to see if you qualify.
I've worked hard on the ranch all my life, and I just can't tell you how this back brace makes me feel so much better.
These professional-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, rheumatoid and osteoarthritis, spinal disorders, stenosis, and other painful back problems.
I'm a retired truck driver, and I put a lot of miles on my back, and this back brace helps me feel much better.
Our medical-grade durable knee braces are designed for those with osteoarthritis and general knee pain and weakness. Will you qualify for a Medicare-covered back brace or knee brace? There's only one way to find out. Call the Back and Knee Brace Center at 800-218-8932. That's 800-218-8932. That's 800-218-8932.
Thanks to my new knee brace, I can go shopping for the first time in months and not have to sit every 10 minutes.
Our accredited staff will handle all of the Medicare paperwork. And best of all, your brace is shipped directly to your home for free. Will you qualify for a Medicare-covered back brace or knee brace? There's only one way to find out. Call the Back and Knee Brace Center at 800-218-8932.
The brace was so easy to order. The people were friendly on the phone and handled everything for me. What a relief.
Will you qualify for a Medicare-covered back brace or knee brace? There's only one way to find out. Call the Back and Knee Brace Center at 800-218-8932. That's 800-218-8932. That's 800-218-8932.
Well, welcome back. The Russian lawyer for an American accused of spying in Russia has applied for bail. Now, Paul Whelan, a retired Marine, is detained in Moscow on espionage charges. His lawyer says that Whelan plans to plead not guilty. He hopes that he can be swapped for a Russian currently behind bars in America. Now, neither Russia nor the U.S. has made any suggestion of an exchange, though, at this point. But Whelan's case follows closely on the heels of Maria Butina. She's a Russian activist who pleaded guilty to acting as an illegal foreign agent. Well, the U.S. Army's Chief of Staff making a surprise visit to Afghanistan. General Mark Milley meeting with Afghan President Ashraf Ghani in Kabul to discuss ending the country's 17-year war. Now, General Milley says that he supports Afghan-led talks with the Taliban, despite them refusing direct talks with the Afghan government. The U.S. and the Taliban are reportedly scheduled to meet later this month. So we'll see how that goes. 17 years that war has gone on. Well, as the Trump administration works to end the war, Vice President Mike Pence tells Fox News an Afghanistan withdrawal is under active consideration.
I think the president's in the process of evaluating options in terms of putting America first protecting America's interests in the region, making sure that we can confront terrorism.
A senior U.S. official telling Fox News last month more than 3,000 troops could be pulled from the country. There are currently 15,000 troops on the ground there. Well, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says a second summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un could help end the rogue nation's nuclear threat. Pompeo is saying that the stage has been set for a significant breakthrough.
I think we have set the conditions where we can make real progress when Chairman Kim and President Trump meet and take down the threat to the United States and to the world that has been, frankly, holding America hostage for so long in North Korea.
Really would be something. Both President Trump and Kim Jong-un have expressed interest in a second meeting, but no date has been set. In his New Year's address, Kim claimed North Korea would no longer make or test nuclear weapons, but he wanted some sanctions relief involved in that. So we'll see. Relations are not as warm with China, with the State Department now warning Americans to exercise increased caution while traveling in the country. The department warning that Beijing has been using exit bans, that's what they're called, to keep U.S. citizens from leaving the country, sometimes even holding them for years. The State Department urging travelers there to keep their passport with a valid Chinese visa close at hand. Well, the time now, 15 minutes after the top of the hour. Nancy Pelosi may be speaker again, but there's some resistance within her own party.
Austerity politics hasn't worked. It's a tough vote. It's not easy to go up against leadership.
So how concerned should the Democrats be? We will ask a Democratic strategist coming up. And faith hitting the road, where you will soon be able to get "In God We Trust" license plates.
Yeah, keeping the faith. Won't matter, dog. It's only flag brothers had them with a Cuban heel.
When did it become okay for men to be lazier, softer, weaker? Get Ageless Male with ingredients that promote free testosterone, muscle size with workouts, and your libido. Get back to greatness with Ageless Male.
Never had bacon. It ruins everything without bacon forever. I never get Hulu. With live TV and tons of shows and movies, it's like the bacon of TV.
If a dirty CPAP is making you sick, you're not alone.
I was getting sinus infections because I wasn't cleaning my CPAP properly. And that continued until I got my SoClean.
SoClean is the world's first automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria that can build up in your mask, hose, and reservoir.
I don't have to push a button or anything. I just put the mask in the chamber, close the lid, and it runs automatically. SoClean has been a lifesaver.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks. Try it risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-436-0262 to take advantage of this limited time offer.
I would recommend the SoClean machine to anyone else. It is that good of a machine. It has made that big a difference in my life.
Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-436-0262 or go to SoClean.com.
Finding the right vacation rental can take hours. Luckily, there's Home to Go. With Home to Go, you can search hundreds of websites and millions of offers. Fast. Whew. Home to Go. It's the world's largest vacation rental search engine.
Home to Go. Not getting enough cash back with that credit card? Turn to the nerds. Looking for the perfect mortgage? Turn to the nerds. Oops. Sorry about that. Easily compare credit cards, mortgages, savings accounts, and more at nerdwallet.com.
Children of abuse, a prayer answered, and the heartwarming ending you have to see to believe. Martha's interview with the inspiring Shaw family, tomorrow on The Story.
Baxter, it's bedtime.
Peace of mind should never be out of reach.
Xfinity Home.
Xfinity Home connects you to total home security you can control from anywhere on any device. And it protects you with 24/7 professional monitoring.
I guess we're sleeping here tonight.
Xfinity Home. Simple, easy, awesome. Call, go online, or demo in an Xfinity store today.
Are you getting the most out of your Medicare plan?
Many people with Medicare are eligible for plans that include extra benefits in addition to those found in original Medicare. Benefits like dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage. In many areas, plans with benefits are available with $0 monthly premiums or $0 deductibles. Call now. The consultation is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 1-800-379-8304. That's 1-800-379-8304.
Newly elected House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is still refusing to meet with the president in the middle, or meet him in the middle anyway, on the border wall.
The wall, in my view, is an immorality. It is, again, a waste of money, an opportunity cost to protect the American people. But it is a diversionary tactic on the part of the president.
Well, the two will face off again today in another meeting with congressional leaders. So what will it take to realize that American safety is at stake? Joining me now is radio talk show host George Rodriguez. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So let's just begin with that. What is it going to take?
You know, I'm not sure that the Democrats really care to do anything but play politics with this issue. The problem is that we've got people dying on both sides of the border. We've got people dying because of the cartels. We've got people. We've got little kids that are being dragged along as props, in my opinion. But little kids are being dragged along by adults who are being very irresponsible, and then they're getting sick and they're dying. And then also we've got criminal elements from across the border that are coming over here and killing folks. Classic example, the police officer in California that was recently killed. This is a border security issue.
And they know that the president is not going to agree to this, that it remains to be seen what the Senate will do on this front, if they'll allow the president to veto it if it gets that far. So is it just all smoke and mirrors at this point from the Democrats?
I think it is. I mean, as far as the Democrats are concerned, all they're doing is doing political posturing. I think what it's going to take, Heather, is the citizens are going to have to mobilize again like they did in 2009 when you had the Tea Party movement. I think that's what it's going to take, that we're going to have to confront the elected officials in their home districts and find out why don't they want to secure the border, why don't they care about the security and safety of American citizens, as well as enticing undocumented immigrants from coming over.
Yeah, here's what the president had to say. He agrees with you in this tweet. He said the shutdown is only because of the 2020 presidential election. The Democrats know they can't win based on all of the achievements of Trump, so they're going all out on the desperately needed wall and border security and presidential harassment. For them, strictly politics. And I keep bringing this up. There was yet another occasion. I talked about 2006 when Democrats voted for a wall and border security. That's the Secure Fence Act. I talked about in 2013, Border Security, Economic Opportunity and Immigration Modernization Act, all the way back to 1996, yet another time when Democrats, Congress expressly authorized the construction and improvement of fencing and other barriers under this, other Section 102A. So they voted for it in the past, but they refused to do it now.
And the only reason that they're doing that, again, is because they do not want to give Trump a victory. So, this is all about Trump. This is all about politics. It has nothing to do, they could care less about the security and safety of American citizens. They could care less about the integrity of our nation's borders. This is really what we need to, harp on a lot, is that they're caring more about their political posturing than they are about the safety of American citizens.
Yeah, and now we are having American citizens die. As you said, we have people dying trying to get over here illegally, trying to cross these sections of the border where they think they can get past. I mentioned the 1996 Act, and in 1996, it actually included a triple layered fence along a original 14-mile border near San Diego. But yet now, Nancy Pelosi and others call it immoral.
Again, it is nothing more than political posturing. It's amazing how things have changed just because we've got Donald Trump sitting in the White House. This is ridiculous. It has no logic to it, and we've got to expose them for what what it is and what they are. I think that another problem that we've got is how the liberal media conveniently ignores these issues or the history here. History is very, very politically incorrect, and here we've got a classic example of it.
Yeah, and clearly with all of these votes in the past, though, we still have a significant issue when it comes to immigration and getting legal immigration under control and incentivizing people to do it the legal way versus trying to skirt the issue and do it illegally. George, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. Well, the time now is about 24 minutes after the top of the hour, and a final salute to a police officer killed in the line of duty as new details emerge about the illegal immigrant charged with his murder. And what happened after the crime? We're live as the community prepares to say goodbye.
Austerity politics hasn't worked. It's a tough vote. It's not easy to go up against leadership.
And Nancy Pelosi may be speaker again, but there's some resistance within her own party. How concerned should the Democrats be? We will ask a Democratic strategist up next.
Where are you?
Well, the squirrels are back in the attic.
Mom?
Your dad won't call an exterminator.
Can I call you back, Mom?
He says it's personal this time.
If you're a mom, you call it the worst time. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Where are you? It's very loud there. Are you taking a Zumba class?
The information you are about to see could save your life. Tragedy can strike anywhere at any time. Imagine passing from a heart attack or stroke because you can't reach a phone or dial for help. When seconds are the difference between life and death, you need help fast. You need Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Mobile Help can keep an emergency from turning deadly. A cell phone can be hard to use, but with Mobile Help, one button gets you the help you need fast. Call now and get complete peace of mind with around-the-clock coverage. Unlike 911, Mobile Help pinpoints your location nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks, so you know you're safe at home or on the go. Call the number on your screen for a free brochure on our life-saving emergency response system. Get the plan that saves lives. Get Mobile Help.
Call 1-800-921-3514 or visit mobilehelp.com now for your free color brochure. That's 1-800-921-3514.
The sheet reinvented. Ridiculously soft. Chic's Performance Sheets, delivering the ultimate deep sleep experience.
If technical fabrics can improve athletic performance, why can't we apply that same concept to sheets?
Traditional cotton sheets trap heat and moisture, but Chic's patented fabrics transfer heat 2 times more effectively, breathe nearly 50% better, and wick moisture.
You sweat a little bit every single night, and Chic's will help keep you cool.
Chic's are wrinkle-free, have stay-fit corners, and best of all, Chic's feel ridiculously soft.
They're so much softer than any other sheet I've ever had.
Every time you climb into bed, you'll experience the Chic's sensation. Call or go to trychic's.com now to order your Chic's Performance Sheet set. You'll get 25% off when you use the promo code on your screen, plus 2 additional pillowcases at no cost. Act now to get free shipping. Sleep on Chic's for 30 nights, and if you're not satisfied, we'll give you a full refund. Go online and see how Chic's deliver the ultimate deep sleep experience.
Really? Thing hasn't worked right in a couple years.
Guess we'll fix this first.
Garage Rehab, season premiere. Check your local listings.
Oh, I never paid that for a hotel.
Well, how'd you do it then?
Yes.
How?
With Trivago, you can search for the hotel you want. Select the dates, and Trivago will compare the prices for that hotel from hundreds of websites worldwide to find the ideal hotel for you. Hotel Trivago.
Welcome back. You're watching Fox and Friends First. President Trump calls the family of fallen police officer Ranil Singh, sharing his condolences. This as newly released court documents reveal every move of the illegal immigrant accused in the cold-blooded killing. Alicia Acuna joins us now live from Los Angeles with how the community is saying goodbye to the beloved officer. Good morning.
Good morning, Heather. President Trump making that tough phone call, reminding Officer Singh's family of their hero in blue. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders saying, quote, the president praised Officer Singh's service to his fellow citizens, offered condolences, and commended law enforcement's rapid investigation, response, and apprehension of the suspect. This, as newly released documents show, the man charged in Singh's death stopped at his home after the alleged murder and covered his truck with plywood. Police say Gustavo Arriaga shot and killed Officer Singh during a traffic stop the day after Christmas. Arriaga is from Mexico and has been living in the U.S. illegally since he crossed the border in Arizona. Family and friends preparing to say goodbye to Officer Singh in their California community. Officer Singh moved to the U.S. from Fiji to pursue his dream of becoming a police officer. Today, a procession will carry Officer Singh's body from Modesto to his town of Newman for an honor guard visitation before heading to another service at a chapel. He will be laid to rest tomorrow. Officer Singh's brother will join Fox and Friends this morning at 8:20 Eastern Time for an exclusive interview about the tragic shooting. The Tunnel of Towers Foundation will also give an update on paying Officer Singh's mortgage for his wife and 5-month-old son, who he leaves behind. Heather.
Yeah. Watching his brother in that news conference when he found out they had caught the killer was just heart-wrenching. So look forward to hearing from him for sure. Thank you. Well, thousands of immigration hearings are now on the back burner due to the government shutdown, and many cases are even being canceled altogether, with some immigrants having to wait years for their cases to be rescheduled. Now, the significant delays come as the immigration court backlog in the U.S. surpasses 1 million cases during the 2018 fiscal year. Jerome Corsi's request to have his lawsuit against Robert Mueller and the DOJ heard by a specific judge is denied. A U.S. District Court Judge Richard Leon says that his case will now be assigned to another judge randomly. Corsi claims that Mueller and the special counsel allegedly forced him to lie under oath and commit other violations like witness tampering. He's seeking $350 million in damages. Well, House Democrats are taking aim at President Trump with 2 constitutional amendments on their first day in control. Tennessee Congressman Steve Cohen proposing to eliminate the Electoral College. That is how President Trump won the 2016 election against Hillary Clinton. The second would prevent presidents from pardoning themselves or close associates. Neither one is expected to pass. Well, during a surprise appearance in the White House briefing room, President Trump congratulates newly elected Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, in a bid of bipartisanship.
I just want to start off by congratulating Nancy Pelosi on being elected Speaker of the House. It's a very, very great achievement. And hopefully we're going to work together and we're going to get lots of things done, like infrastructure and so much more. I know they want to do that very badly. So do I. I think it's actually going to work out. I think it'll be a little bit different than a lot of people are thinking.
But Democrats are facing potential backlash from their very own party if they compromise on the wall. So when did bipartisanship become a bad thing? Here to discuss is former Congressional Press Secretary for House Democrats and political analyst Rochelle Ritchie. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Heather.
So, I mean, I think the president does this often in his time in the White House. He kind of thinks people are a little more willing to work together than they are. Do you think there's hope this time around? Do you think Nancy Pelosi will be a little more willing to work with the president?
I think that Nancy Pelosi has always been willing to work with the president, and I disagree with those who think that the Democratic Party is divided. I actually just spoke with a friend of mine who still works on Capitol Hill for a senior member, and they told me that the party is very united, despite the fact that you do have people like Ocasio-Cortez coming in and trying to defy leadership. I think they're united on maintaining health care, for affordable health care for millions of Americans. They're united on tax cuts for the middle class, and they're united on defending our democracy and protecting it from foreign and domestic agents. So I'm not sure why there's this idea that the party is actually even divided.
Well, some of the members did not vote in favor of Nancy Pelosi becoming Speaker.
Right, which is expected. I don't think that she's ever, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think she's ever gotten 100% of the vote. And as I said, I think that you do have this more far left far left members that are coming in to sort of defy leadership, which I don't think is going to bode well for them as freshman members.
In terms of the government shutdown itself, do you think that there's any room for negotiation with the president there? I mean, they've put forward these bills without any funding for the wall, knowing full well that the president and Republicans have said that that's a non-starter.
Well, I think there's two things here. The first issue is that the president actually flip-flopped on this. Remember, he actually agreed to sign a bill that did not necessarily include full funding for the wall. And then in the last minute, he flipped on that. So I think that is the issue. But also the other issue is that we really don't know what we're getting. Senator Gramp came out and said that this is a metaphor for border security. So are we getting a wall? Are we getting fencing? What is it? And I think until the president comes out and actually says exactly what his border security looks like, I think it's going to be hard for Democrats to support him on that.
Speaking of flip-flopping, let's listen to some of what Democrats have had to say in the past.
We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked.
American people are fundamentally pro-legal immigration and anti-illegal immigration.
So we went through this in the last segment. We won't go through it again, but Democrats have voted in favor of border security, of fencing, of a wall, portions of it in the past. And if you heard the members of the CBP that joined the president yesterday in the press conference, they talked about this specifically, and they said there are different areas that need different things. Right. Some areas need a wall, some areas need fencing, some areas need more money for more border protection agents, and that's in fact what they're talking about in terms of this $5 billion number that they're asking for. And Lindsey Graham also throwing in there that they're willing to talk about DACA and throwing that back in the mix, which Democrats have wanted.
Exactly. So I'm not really sure what the problem is. Yeah. They clearly have supported Democratic policies when it comes to immigration. You'll remember in 2013 that Schumer actually put forth legislation. It was $40 billion that would have put 40,000 additional border agents on the border. It was 700 miles of fencing. It was a 13-year path to citizenship when it came to DACA recipients. Right. So it seems that Republicans are sort of going back to where we were in 2013. So I'm not really sure what the fight is over. I just think the president needs to do a better job at really telling people what does it look like. Be as specific as possible about what we need and what we want. And the border agents have said themselves that they're not necessarily in need of a wall. I mean, we have to think about the terrain that is along our border as well. They've actually said they need more technological advances and more border agents. And I think that's the direction we need to go. But it's on the president and Republicans to be very clear about what this looks like.
And Democrats to be willing to negotiate with them and actually come on board and have a conversation versus voting to go home. Yesterday, they voted to go home.
Well, the president said this is his shutdown, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, so Democratic infighting, let's touch on that just a little bit more with Ocasio-Cortez, amongst some others, this hard, far left contingency that everybody's talking about in the Democratic Party.
I think Ocasio-Cortez has to be extremely careful. I admire her for her hard work, her campaigning, and being the youngest member of Congress. But I think that she is burning more bridges than she's building right now. And she has to understand that when you come in and you try to defy Nancy Pelosi, that's a bad move, because the American people are not voting on your bills. It's your members of your party that are voting on your bills. And if you've burned those bridges and you need their support on something, you're not going to get it. Yeah. So I think that I think she needs to humble herself. I think that she needs to listen a little bit more and respect our institutions. But I think that once she does that, then she'll be in a better position to lead.
Yeah. I mean, what a change. You can see what era we're in when they're all in there taking selfies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but now it's going to get real.
Get some work done. Okay, Rochelle, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it. Great stuff. Well, the time now is about 20 minutes until the top of the hour. And a painting honoring our heroes with a Ground Zero cross could be taken down if atheists get their way. The war on religion taking over a local courthouse. And the stock market taking a bite out of Apple amid slumping sales. But could this be good news for consumers? You know who's always got good news? Kurt the Cyber Guy. He is up next to talk about what we need to know before buying our next iPhone. I just bought one.
It's Empire Today's biggest sale, the 50-50-50 sale. 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation. That's right, half off your entire project. You can save thousands. Empire's 50-50-50 sale won't last long. Don't miss 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation.
800-588-2300 Today. Do you use catheters? Are you using the catheter that's really best for you?
Oh, yeah. For years, I'd been using one kind of catheter, and I never knew that there were other really great catheters available until Liberator sent me samples to try. If I had not tried the samples from Liberator, I might never have found the perfect catheter for me. Liberator Medical sent me a catheter that was easier for me to use right out of the package. Now that I've found the best catheter for me, it's made my life much easier. My catheters were completely paid for, not a dime out of my pocket.
There are so many innovative catheters. Get the best catheter for you. Call Liberator Medical. Get your free catheter sample pack.
Call 1-800-885-1966. That's 1-800-885-1966.
This is Fracture. Just upload an image, place your order, and it'll show up at your door, beautifully printed directly on glass. And this isn't just another frame, not just another canvas. This is new. This is a Fracture. Visit FractureMe.com and print one today.
Never upgrade to 3-ply. It will ruin regular toilet paper forever. And never get Hulu. With live TV and exclusive originals, it's basically the 3-ply of TV. Come in!
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next?
How do you get in front of companies or get a patent?
Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors just like you for 35 years.
And thousands of people contact them every month.
With 65 offices, you can meet with an InventHelp representative near you who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. And they offer 3D animations and prototyping services to help demonstrate your idea. InventHelp's exclusive databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to confidentially review new ideas, like yours.
Don't wonder what to do next. Take action right now and get the help you need from InventHelp.
InventHelp. Call today for free information.
1-800-710-6605. That's 1-800-710-6605.
Welcome back to Fox Business Alert. U.S. stocks taking a big hit Thursday as investors reacted to Apple's business forecast. Tracy Crosco from our sister network, Fox Business, here with more on why Apple sent shockwaves across the globe. Good morning.
Good morning, Heather. Yes, Apple leaving investors with a sour taste yesterday. America's first trillion-dollar company saw its worst day in 6 years, wiping out $75 billion in market value. Shares of the company plummeting 10% after a warning from CEO Tim Cook that iPhone sales are suffering because of China's worsening economy. That news sparked new fears of a global economic slowdown, sending the Dow sinking 660 points. The rest of the indexes fell too. The Nasdaq down more than 3%. The S&P 500 dropping almost 2.5%. Investors also concerned about the manufacturing index as it saw its biggest monthly drop since 2008. Futures right now are pointing higher as investors wait for that December jobs report due later this morning. Heather.
All right. Thank you so much, Tracy. We will see what happens today because you never know. And now here with more on what slumping Apple sales means for all of us as customers, Kurt Knutson, the cyber guy. So, Kurt, what is going on?
Heather, well, if you own an iPhone, it's good news for you. It's not good for people who hold the stock at the moment. But, you know, Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, put out a letter to his employees He says, look, we're in this for the long haul and the financial stuff. And what this also says is we make really good products, because one of the reasons that the sales were not strong is he, of course, is pointing at China and the trade wars going on between the United States and China, and Chinese people pulling back from upgrading their phone and buying a new handset. But also here in the States, we're less likely to buy a handset now, because that cycle we used to go through where every 24 months are, remember how the wireless contracts would cycle? Well, no, those are sort of obliterated now. T-Mobile was first to come out and say, you know, we don't need that 24-month cycle. You pay for the phone because people want it so badly. We're not going to subsidize it anymore. So it may cost you more as a consumer, but as a wireless carrier, we're not going to foot the bill anymore. So now that they're not footing the bill, it doesn't make it as easy for you and me to go buy a new phone. And what we're realizing is that the product is good just the way it is. I happen to notice sitting on your desk, Heather, your older iPhone works just as well as this one now, doesn't it?
Right. Yes, it does.
What we're
in
realizing,
some ways better.
Right. So sort of Apple shooting itself in the foot just a little bit here, because they have a brilliant recycle program, which says let's just build things the right way and make them work really well with the right parts that don't hurt the world. And at the same time, it's causing the products to last a lot longer than I think anybody anticipated.
Right.
So you've got a good phone. You don't necessarily need the latest and greatest.
And that aggravated a lot of people. You know, you would buy this phone, this really expensive phone, and know that, well, within a year, there's going to be another better phone out that you're going to buy.
Well, that was the thing. It used to be that the next thing that was in the phone was big enough for us to take that leap.
Right.
Well, the money's gone up. The cost of getting a phone has gone up. And those thrills have not been equal to that price for the consumer.
Right.
So here's what we also know is that when we would upgrade our phone, that price was lower, but also remember the battery replacement program that Apple went through for some of the iPhone 6? Well, so those phones also, with a battery replacement of $29, affected the fact of people upgrading their phones. They didn't realize that at the time.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who did that battery upgrade said, well, I'm fine. I just got my battery upgraded. I'm not going to get a new phone.
What about what else is new coming up in 2019?
CES next week,
Yes,
Heather. We've got a lot of technology on the horizon in 2019. And here's what's interesting. So we heard all about 4K TVs last year, right? So now 8K TVs are the ones, and then we heard about 4G as the latest, fastest cell phone signal. Well, every wireless carrier is going to be out in Las Vegas touting 5G. You're going to see 5G rolling out all throughout the U.S. and major cities this year. So they're going to tout and show us how all this giant bandwidth is going to matter. And remember how VR was everything, virtual reality? Because what replaces it this year is augmented reality. So AR is what the big word is. So IKEA was one of the first to show that example early on, where you could take your existing technology, you didn't have to buy anything. And for example, we could see how this sofa from IKEA, it's not from IKEA, but if it were, how it would look at your own house. So we're starting to see those kinds of technologies coming out at CES.
And
remember how I will. Remember Alexa? Is everybody's Alexa, Alexa.
Yeah.
So those home smart speakers are huge. But now what you're going to see is every device that's new, fill in the blank, powered by Alexa or has Alexa inside of it. They've really made a big difference.
Alexa taking over. All right.
She has. She's listening.
Have fun, by the way, and let us know what all's there. We'll check back in with you. And we will be right back. Stay with us.
If a dirty CPAP is making you sick, you're not alone.
I was getting sinus infections because I wasn't cleaning my CPAP properly, and that continued until I got my SoClean.
SoClean is the world's first automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria that can build up in your mask, hose, and reservoir.
I don't have to push a button or anything. I just put the mask in the chamber, close the lid, and it runs automatically. SoClean has been a lifesaver.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks. Try it risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-436-0262 to take advantage of this limited time offer.
I would recommend the SoClean machine to anyone else. It is that good of a machine. It has made that big a difference in my life.
Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-436-0262 or go to SoClean.com.
Killed in the line of duty by an illegal immigrant. The politics, the policy, and what should be done now. The slain officer's brother speaks out tomorrow on Fox and Friends.
A business owner always goes beyond what people expect.
That's why we built the nation's largest gig speed network, along with complete reliability. Then went beyond clumsy dial-ins and pins, to one-touch conference calls, beyond traditional TV, to TV on any device, beyond low-res surveillance video, to crystal-clear HD video monitoring from anywhere. Geek-fueled apps that exceed expectations. Comcast Business, beyond fast.
Attention! In 2015, the Internal Agency for Research on Cancer warned that overexposure to Roundup and other weed killers may increase the risk of developing non-Hodgkin lymphoma. More evidence found that Monsanto may have known that Roundup was likely linked to organ damage and cancer. A California jury found Monsanto's weed killer caused a groundkeeper's cancer and issued a verdict for $78 million. Call Roundup Advocates now.
This is our Graze Box. It's a great way to snack. Fresh, tasty, and created using only the best ingredients. Choose from our range of over 90 delicious snacks. We'd like to invite you to try a hand-picked box for free. Go to graze.com and we'll send a free box directly to your office or home. It may even help you keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Go to graze.com and enter the code SNACK76 for a free box.
Graze.com. Snacking. Reinvented.
So, you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So, pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. And all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. Independence U for an independent you.
Call 1-800-780-0551.
Welcome back. U.S. officials heading to China next week for round 2 of trade talks. So how can the U.S. keep the upper hand when it comes to negotiations? Here to weigh in is Asia analyst and author of The Nuclear Showdown, Gordon Chang. Gordon, great to see you again.
Oh, thanks so much, Heather.
I want to begin with this, the very latest that came out last night, this travel advisory to China, this level 2 and increased caution due to what they're calling is arbitrary enforcement of local laws, as well as special restrictions on dual U.S.-Chinese nationals. What do you make of this?
Well, China's been dangerous for a very long time. Even before the high-profile detention of those Canadians in connection with the Huawei matter, China had taken 3 American citizens as hostages, a mother and her 2 children, because the father was suspected of fraud. China has been sort of at a point where it's almost on the edge of convulsions. So it would be wise things for Americans, especially those involved in business, to stay away from China, because people could end up very much on the inside of a Chinese prison. So I think that it's a good time to stay away.
And you mentioned especially those involved in business, because these trade talks are continuing. U.S. officials heading to China next week. How does the U.S. keep the upper hand in these negotiations? I know that both sides are pushing for an agreement by March 2nd.
Well, the best way for the U.S. to keep the upper hand is not to have an agreement. Too often in the past, we have sort of had agreements with China. They've violated all of them. We sort of give up important concessions for mere promises from China. China doesn't honor those promises. So what I think President Trump should do is say, look, we're keeping the tariffs in place until China stops stealing U.S. intellectual property, stops predatory trade actions. When China starts to act responsibly, then we let up on the tariffs and the other measures.
Now, some of that, though, has been credited with all of the wacky movements with the stock market. But in terms of the Dow dropping, you say that's actually good for the U.S.?
Well, it shows the weakness in the Chinese economy, and that gives President Trump much more leverage in the trade discussions. You know, yesterday the Dow drops more than 600 points because people are concerned that the slowdown in China will affect the U.S. Well, China, for at least 3 years, going back to 2016, has been growing in the extremely low single digits, and yet the U.S. economy has powered ahead. And it's powered ahead because of some good policies on the part of the current president. So we don't have to worry about China. China is a lot less important than people think that it is. And so we shouldn't be worried about, what's happening over there.
Yeah, well, I listen to you, so I will take your word on that. Let's move from China to North Korea, though. President Trump touting some progress being made with North Korea. We know Kim Jong-un sent the president another letter expressing this desire for a second summit, although no date has been announced. What should we expect, and how will China actually play a role in that as well?
Well, China's been playing a very malign role with regard to North Korea over the last 6 or 7 months. It's been openly violating both UN and U.S. sanctions, so have the Russians and now the South Koreans. And that's because President Trump, in a very generous mood, decided to try to create this favorable atmosphere for Kim Jong-un so he'd feel secure enough in giving up his weapons. Well, Kim did not reciprocate the gesture. What he's done is he's stalled, he's lied, he's not working in good faith. And so I think President Trump has to go back to those policies that made him extraordinarily successful before June, and that was the maximum pressure campaign, which forced the North Koreans to make many, many concessions to the U.S., and we made no concessions to the North Koreans.
All right. Gordon Chang, live for us, going through lots of material this morning. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Heather.
Yeah, have a great weekend. Well, the time now is about 6 minutes until the top of the hour. 5 eyes, 5 arms, 4 legs, all American. The powerful photo of wounded vets now serving in Congress that you need to see.
We're here to rehab your garage.
This is a nail salon.
Garage Rehab season premiere. Check your local listings.
The sheet reinvented, ridiculously soft. Chic's Performance Sheets, delivering the ultimate deep sleep experience.
As an elite athlete, the most important part to performance is a great night's sleep. We thought if technical fabrics can improve athletic performance, why can't we apply that same concept to sheets?
Cheeks stretches to your every curve. It conforms to you, and the softness is unbelievable.
Traditional cotton sheets trap heat and moisture, making you too hot or too cold. But Chic's groundbreaking sleep tech fabrics transfer heat 2 times more effectively and breathe nearly 50% better, allowing your body to stay at its ideal sleeping temperature. And Chic's moisture wicking technology releases the natural moisture your body creates while you sleep, so you stay dry and sleep better.
Moisture wicking is important because we get warm at night. You sweat a little bit every single night, and Chic's will help keep you cool.
Chic's are wrinkle-free and have stay-fit corners, which provide an extra secure fit and grip. Best of all, Chic's feel ridiculously soft.
If you think about that soft fabric touching your skin for 8 hours a night, you're gonna get a good night's sleep.
Every time you climb into bed, you'll experience the Chic sensation.
They're so much softer than any other sheet I've ever had.
The reviews have been remarkable. Chic's are transforming the quality of sleep.
Chic's feel so good, I don't want to get out of bed. I love Chic's.
Chic's are patented and the only authentic performance sheets. Call or go to trychic's.com now to sleep better every night. Order your Chic's Performance Sheet set in your choice of size and color. For a limited time, you'll get 25% off when you use the promo code on your screen, plus 2 additional pillowcases at no cost. That's a total savings of up to $100. Act now to get free shipping. Sleep on Chic's for 30 nights, and if you're not satisfied, we'll give you a full refund. There's no risk. Call or go online now and see how Chic's deliver the ultimate deep sleep experience.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Travis Stork, and if you've ever seen me on television, you already know my passion is helping people live longer, healthier lives. Did you know that 1 out of 3 Americans suffers from high blood pressure? And the older you get, the greater the risk. So I was excited when I came across the Zona Plus. It's a drug-free, software-controlled handheld device which uses the proven science of isometric therapy to help lower blood pressure naturally.
As a physician who's experienced great results with the Zona Plus, I would not hesitate to recommend it to anyone.
I've been using it now for about 1.5 years, and I absolutely love it.
If you've been recently diagnosed with high blood pressure, or you've been dealing with it for years, you could benefit from adding the Zona Plus to your treatment plan.
And with the company's fantastic 90-day money-back guarantee, backed by a full refund of the purchase price, there's no risk. You have everything to gain by giving Zona Plus a try for 90 days. Call now at 800-311-6730 or visit us online at zonaplus.com.
Fox Nation, documentaries, specials, live shows, thousands of hours of unmatched content, streaming anytime, any place, anywhere. Fox Nation, opinion done right. And at your fingertips. Start your free trial right now.
Welcome back. Faith hitting the road. In God We Trust will be added to Mississippi license plates starting this month. The new design has the U.S. national motto included on the state seal, which also reads the Great Seal of the State of Mississippi. Governor Phil Bryant announced the change back in May. 20 other states currently let drivers buy specialty plates that have In God We Trust on them. Well, complete opposite here. An anti-religion group is demanding a Missouri courthouse ditch this Ground Zero painting. And it honors the men and women who died on September 11th. But the Freedom from Religion Foundation says the murals violate the separation of church and state. County officials will reportedly meet on Tuesday to talk about the painting. Let us know if you think that should stay or go. Well, now it's time for the good, the bad, and the ugly. At first, the good. A combat veteran lawmaker is welcoming 2 new congressmen, look at this, who also made that sacrifice. Florida Representative Brian Mast tweeting, quote, 5 eyes, 5 arms, 4 legs, all American. The photo taken with Dan Crenshaw of Texas and Indiana's Jim Baird on the first day of the 116th Congress. And now the bad. A man is accused of posing as a pastor to smuggle drugs inside a North Carolina prison. Police say that James Mormon stuffed suckboxing strips inside Bibles, not quite sure what that is, giving them to inmate Bryson Brown. Both men are now facing charges for the operation. And finally, the ugly. This woman with these wild face tattoos, oh my goodness, is behind bars after allegedly threatening to blow up a 7-Eleven. Police say that she placed a device on the store counter in Virginia, claiming it was a bomb. Luckily, it was not. Her sentencing is set for March. So if you see her walking in, that's a heads up what she might be up to. That wraps up this hour, Fox and Friends First. Have a great weekend, everybody. Fox and Friends First continues right now. Bye.
Call it what you will, but without a wall, you cannot have border security. It won't work.
It is Friday, January 4th. The president standing firm on his demands for a border wall, despite the House passing a short-term funding bill overnight to reopen the government.
Why the shutdown could now extend into next week and even beyond. And just hours after seizing control of the House, some Democrats are already pushing for impeachment. Why their plan may be dead on arrival. And Houston, we have a problem. The astronaut who raised the alarm from orbit by calling 911. Fox and Friends First continues right now. Good morning and happy Friday. You're watching Fox and Friends First on this Friday morning. I'm Rob Schmidt.
And I'm Jillian Mealy. Thank you so much for starting your day with us. Let's get right to this. House Democrats passing a spending bill overnight to reopen the government on their first day in control. But guess what? It doesn't include money for a border wall.
Both President Trump and Vice President Pence are making it clear, no funding for the wall, no deal. Doug Luzader is live in Washington as top lawmakers from both parties prepare to meet again at the White House today. Hey, Doug.
Good morning. Well, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi did not waste much time. Just hours after reclaiming the Speaker's gavel, she and her fellow Democrats pushed through this funding measure to end the partial government shutdown, but it did not include funding for the president's border wall.
We are diligent and persistent in trying to open up government. As I said today on the floor, we will take ideas, good ideas from wherever they come, including the idea of the appropriations bills passed by the Republicans in the United States Senate.
Open to ideas, she says, so long as it doesn't include border wall funding. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says this Democratic bill is dead on arrival in the Senate. And the president made it clear from the White House briefing room yesterday that he is not backing down.
You can call it a barrier, you can call it whatever you want, but essentially we need protection in our country. We're going to make it good. The people of our country want it. I have never had so much support as I have in the last week over my stance for border security, for border control, and for, frankly, the wall or the barrier.
All right, and the president will play host again today to congressional leaders, both Democrats and Republicans, at the White House to see if they can come closer to some kind of agreement to end this partial shutdown. Rob and Jillian.
Yeah, a lot of things changed yesterday. We'll see what happens today. Thank you so much, Doug. Thanks. Fox News alert: a Texas man allegedly confesses to murdering his 3 young kids and shooting his wife. Junaid Hashim Mahmood telling police, quote, "I killed my family shortly before his arrest at an apartment complex less than 50 miles outside Houston." Investigators say Mahmood appeared to be incoherent and emotional. His kids, all under the age of 5. His wife is currently being treated for a gunshot to the head. At least 7 people are killed, including children, in a massive highway inferno. Several others taken to the hospital, some with critical injuries. Police say, as you can see here, 2 tractor trailers and 2 vehicles all smashed into each other right outside Gainesville, Florida. 50 gallons of fuel spilled onto the roadway, and that ignited a fireball. It is not clear exactly who was at fault for that crash. What a terrible scene.
A decorated Navy SEAL will be arraigned today for the killing of a young ISIS fighter in Iraq. Special Operations Chief Edward Gallagher is facing court-martial for premeditated murder at a naval base in San Diego. He's accused of killing the teen in 2017 after Iraqi forces turned him over to Navy SEALs. Chief Gallagher denies all charges and is expected to plead not guilty today. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. His brother, Sean Gallagher, joins us on Fox and Friends at 6:20 this morning. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says America's alliances in the Middle East will block a resurgence of ISIS. Pompeo on Hannity credits President Trump's ability to work with countries like Israel and Saudi Arabia.
We haven't changed our policy about continuing to make sure that there is no ISIS resurgence, and we're just going to do it in a way that is smarter and better. And we can do that because of the alliances that President Trump has built.
Pompeo continued to say the U.S. can achieve this despite the recent decision to pull 2,000 troops from Syria. Nancy Pelosi retakes the gavel in a tight vote to become the Speaker of the House for the 116th Congress.
And with full control of the House, many Democrats not wasting any time reintroducing articles of impeachment against the president.
Todd Pyro joins us live to break it all down. Hey, Todd.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Despite talk of a far-left challenge, in the end, it was Nancy Pelosi sworn in as Speaker of the House.
I do.
Congratulations, Madam Speaker.
The vote fell along party lines, with Pelosi getting 220 votes. Now House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy with 192 votes. And with their new power, House Democrats approved most of a sweeping new rules package that restricts new spending, defeating progressive blowback from the likes of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It also brings new ethics reforms and dramatically shakes up several key voting procedures and committees. As for those committees, the new chairs are Jerry Nadler, chair of the House Judiciary Committee; Adam Schiff, chair of the House Intel Committee; Elijah Cummings, chair of the House Oversight and Reform Committee; Maxine Waters, chair of the House Financial Services Committee; and Richard Neal, chair of the House Ways and Means Committee. A veritable who's who on the Trump impeachment express, which got off to an inauspicious start. California Democrat Brad Sherman reintroducing articles of impeachment against the president, with many in his own Democratic Party and Democratic Party leaders saying the evidence isn't there yet. Republicans, as you might expect, pretty fired up.
We're going to fight back. This is ridiculous. I mean, they have been trying to impeach this president from almost day one. If they could have filed articles of impeachment in November of 2016 after he won the election, they would have done it then.
You'll recall Sherman previously filed articles of impeachment in July 2017. That measure overwhelmingly failed. Guys, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you.
All right, wait until you hear what overly excited new Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib said last night.
People love you, and you win. Woo! And when your son looks at you and says, Mama, look, you won, bullies don't win. And I said, baby, they don't, because we're going to go in there, we're going to impeach them.
That's a heck of a way to get started. The Michigan lawmaker and first Palestinian woman in Congress making that pledge at a reception for the progressive group Move On that happened near Capitol Hill. She also penned an op-ed on Thursday in the Detroit Free Press calling President Trump a direct and serious threat to America. Hours after being sworn in as House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi formally inviting President Trump to give his second State of the Union address on January 29th.
Pelosi alluding to the new balance of power in her letter to the president, noting the Constitution established 3 co-equal branches of government to be a check and balance on each other. This will be the president's third speech to a joint session of Congress.
And real quick, we're going to get a look at the weekend forecast with Janice Dean.
Hi. Good morning. Well, we're still watching this storm system, a very slow mover across the southern U.S., and that's bringing a mixture of rain and sleet, freezing rain as well. It's going to move across the southeast and the mid-Atlantic, eventually up here in the northeast on Saturday. So the good news is it's not going to be cold enough for a big snowmaker, but it's still going to cause some big travel delays as we go through the next 24 to 48 hours. So if you are traveling this weekend, especially across the eastern third of the country, you need to pay attention. In terms of heavy precipitation, we could get a couple of inches here. Not a big deal, but it is going to be nuisance. The West Coast, new system moving in here, several systems actually bringing heavy rain and mountain snow to this region. So we have winter weather advisories posted as that storm moves in, and that's going to be our next weather maker as we head into next week.
Okay, and big congratulations to your husband, by the way, who was promoted.
Thank you. He made battalion chief with the FDNY.
That's a big job.
Yep. It's a big job.
The FDNY is a big department.
Proud of him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
You got it.
Thanks,
Congrats.
Janice. 9 minutes after the hour, another shot at a deal. Top Democrats and Republicans meeting again today at the White House. So what will it take for the president to hurdle the Democrats' wall that's blocking the construction of his own? Judge Stephen Bailey shares his opinion on that matter coming up next.
And she may be new to Capitol Hill, but Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez looked pretty comfortable in her new workplace. How she turned her first session into a selfie photo shoot.
Pour me some moonshine.
I switched to Liberty Mutual because they let me customize my insurance. And as a fitness junkie, I customize everything, like my bike and my calves.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Never add bacon. It ruins everything without bacon forever. And never get Hulu. With live TV and tons of shows and movies, it's like the bacon of TV.
Nothing ruins your natural night vision faster than glaring light, and that can be deadly in a dangerous situation. Nick Bolton here with the solution. We call them night vision tack glasses. Inspired by the glasses worn by elite military units, night vision tack glasses block blinding glare so well, invisible objects suddenly become visible, so you can see clearly when it matters the most. Look. High-intensity glare ruins your night vision by causing your pupils to overcompensate. But night vision tack glasses have an anti-reflective coating and a special tint that help protect your natural night vision. Soldiers have to use lenses like these because missing even a small detail can be deadly in a tactical situation. But you don't have to be in a war zone to face a life-threatening moment. Night vision tack glasses improve optical clarity to reveal important hidden details. And they're not just for driving. You can use them anytime visibility is poor to shield your eyes and sharpen your vision. Plus, like all of our products, these are what I call military tough. They can even survive the harshest conditions. And the polymer frames can flex and bend without breaking. So get yourself a pair of night vision tack glasses. There's just nothing like them on the market today.
Act now to get your night vision tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship them to you free. Inspired by the glasses worn by elite military units, they're built to flex and bend and survive even the harshest conditions. Plus, they're the only glasses that feature the precision and quality of genuine Bell & Howell lenses, backed by our lifetime guarantee. But wait, click or call today and you can double your order. Just pay a separate fee. That's 2 night vision tack glasses with free shipping for this special low price. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-992-4521 or go to tacnight.com. Again, that's 1-800-992-4521 or visit us on the web at tacnight.com. That's 1-800-992-4521.
It's Empire Today's biggest sale, the 50-50-50 sale. 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation. That's right, half off your entire project. You can save thousands. Empire's 50-50-50 sale won't last long. Don't miss 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
Is there any situation which you would accept even $1 of wall funding for this president in order to reopen the government?
$1? $1? Yeah, $1.
All right, so maybe $1, but certainly not anymore, will Nancy Pelosi offer to the president for his border wall.
But the newly elected House Speaker will face off with the president today in another meeting with congressional leaders at the White House. So what will it take for a compromise to be made? Can one be made?
$1 million question here now to weigh in is former GOP nominee for California Attorney General, retired Judge Stephen Bailey. Thanks for coming back, sir. A lot changed yesterday. They had that big press conference at the White House with the president and some of the officers that guard the border, and then you had Pelosi get the speakership. Maybe something could be different today. What do you think?
Well, I think it is different today. Quite frankly, the Speaker has a lot more flexibility now that she's been elected as the Speaker than she had yesterday morning. And I think there is real opportunity. We have a president that knows how to negotiate, and I believe he can do a good job negotiating with the Democrats, provided he hangs tough and the Republican minority in the House and the majority in the Senate hang tough.
I guess, how do you really compromise, though, when you have the president saying, I'm not going to budge, we want the money for the border wall, and you have Nancy Pelosi yesterday saying, we're maybe $1. Maybe we'll give $1 for the wall.
Well, I think she's being a little bit facetious when she says that. I certainly hope that. The American people certainly want Congress to work a deal out with the president, and I think the president's on the right track. All we have to do is look at the recent situation here in California, where Corporal Singh, a legal immigrant into this country who is serving the people of the state of California as a police officer, is gunned down by an illegal alien, a criminal alien. And, within the last month, we've had other instances here in the state of California where illegal criminals, people here in this country with no reason to be here, have committed serious violent offenses against citizens of California. Nancy Pelosi ought to sit up and take note. It's Californians that are being victimized.
Here's a look at the list of the people that are coming back to the White House today. It's the same bipartisan group, some heavy hitters coming in for this meeting. And yesterday, the president had this big press conference that I thought was just very powerful, because he takes, the men and women that do this work and he puts them right up there and they say we need a wall. Yeah. And to everybody out there that says you don't need a wall, how do you deny it?
And he took no questions.
And he took no questions. But these people are saying, I do this every day for 20 years. We need a wall. I mean, how do you deny it anymore?
There's no way to deny it. I mean, our law enforcement professionals are coming before Congress along with the president and saying we need a wall. All you have to do is look what happened on New Year's Day, when the Border Patrol had to fire tear gas to keep a mob of thugs from breaking into the United States. It is absolutely evident that we need a wall on our southern border.
Okay.
We'll certainly see.
Sir, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It is just about 17 minutes after the hour. She may have support from fellow establishment Democrats, but what about the future of her party?
I, of course, don't really like Nancy Pelosi. I prefer pretty much anyone else.
So what happened to being the party of youth?
And Houston, we have a problem. The astronaut who raised the alarm from orbit by calling 911. Stay tuned.
This is a drop everything kind of thing. Swing on by, I'll pour you a drink. The door's unlocked, I'll leave on. Know what you're doing right now?
Impressing the heck out of me. Also giving the Shih Tzu an updo. Pet care ain't easy. 12 hours, 20 dogs? Where's your belly rubs? After a day of chasing dogs, you shouldn't have to chase down payments.
Send invoices and accept payments to get paid twice as fast.
You deserve a treat, and by a treat, I mean cash. Bacon wrapped cash. Josie, it's time to get yours.
QuickBooks, backing you.
If a dirty CPAP is making you sick, you're not alone.
I was getting sinus infections because I wasn't cleaning my CPAP properly, and that continued until I got my SoClean.
SoClean is the world's first automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria that can build up in your mask, hose, and reservoir.
I don't have to push a button or anything. I just put the mask in the chamber, close the lid, and it runs automatically. SoClean has been a lifesaver.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks. Try it risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-436-0262 to take advantage of this limited time offer.
I would recommend the SoClean machine to anyone else. It is that good of a machine. It has made that big a difference in my life.
Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-436-0262 or go to SoClean.com.
What's the word? What you don't see can hurt you. Today's connected world is full of threats you may not see if you just monitor your credit to help protect your identity. LifeLock sees more, like your personal information on the dark web. And now with the power of Norton, we detect threats like ransomware too, to help protect your identity and devices. Plus, if there's an identity theft problem, we'll work to fix it with our $1 Million Protection Package. Get LifeLock with Norton, starting at $9.99 a month.
Killed in the line of duty by an illegal immigrant. The politics, the policy, and what should be done now. The slain officer's brother speaks out today on Fox and Friends.
Attention! In 2015, the Internal Agency for Research on Cancer warned that overexposure to Roundup and other weed killers may increase the risk of developing non-Hodgkin lymphoma. More evidence found that Monsanto may have known that Roundup was likely linked to organ damage and cancer. A California jury found Monsanto's weed killer caused a groundkeeper's cancer and issued a verdict for $78 million. Call Roundup Advocates now.
Have you written a book and want it published? Page Publishing cuts through the confusion of copyright protection, barcodes, and digital rights. We print and digitize your book and place your book for sale online and in bookstores everywhere. Most publishers won't even look at new author submissions. We're different. If we decide to publish your book, your work ends and ours begins. From editing to cover design, we get you published.
Call for your free author submission kit at 1-800-214-3230.
First, let me take a selfie. New Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez turning her first day on the floor into a photo shoot with fellow Democrats. House rules don't ban taking photos or using smartphones unless it disrupts session.
Dozens of kids stealing the show as Nancy Pelosi is sworn in as House Speaker.
I'd like to call my grandchildren up to be here when I take the oath. Yep. And any other children who want to join them. Come on, kids.
It's like a daycare. Members of the new Congress allowing their kids and their grandkids to share the podium with the Speaker of the House and her family. And a funny moment caught on camera as New Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, who we just had in the show earlier, her kids dabbed as she cast her vote for Pelosi. There you have it.
Award season is upon us, and the Golden Globes kick off this weekend.
So which movies will clean up this year? What are the best films? Fox News contributor Kevin McCarthy joins us with some of his predictions, and we're going to start with Best Actor and Actress in a Drama. Hey, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, good morning to you, Rob and Jillian. Yeah, one of the cool things about the Golden Globes is they divide it up into these different categories of musical and comedy and drama. Though I will say I like it in one category with the Oscars. It gives other films chances to be nominated. But in this category specifically, I'm going with Stars Born completely. So I think Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born as an actor in the drama category, and also Lady Gaga as an actress in the drama category are my will win and should win for this category. I think Bradley Cooper completely disappeared in this role in A Star Is Born. He's absolutely absolutely brilliant in the role, as is Lady Gaga. Anybody who says Gaga's playing herself in this movie, it's the complete opposite of who she is. I mean, she's a nervous singer at the beginning of this film. That's kind of the whole concept of A Star is Born. So I love this film, and I think that's my will win, should win in the drama category of the actor category.
That's my goal for 2019, is to watch that, among many others. All right, let's talk about Best Actor and Actress in a Musical or Comedy.
Yeah, so this category is a bit different. So I think Christian Bale and also Olivia Colman are going to take home the award for my will win here. Now, Christian Bale obviously playing Dick Cheney in the movie Vice, and then also Olivia Colman playing a character in The Favorite. I think that's going to happen with the will win, should win of this category. Now, should win, on the other side of things, I think Bale deserves to win the award, but I really want to see Elsie Fisher, this actress in this movie 8th Grade, win the award for Best Actress in a Musical Comedy, but I do think Olivia Colman will end up taking it at the end of the day. I'm just hoping for a surprise from Elsie Fisher. If you haven't seen 8th Grade, it's one of the most incredible films of the year. Very small, independent film, but really touches on the reality of what it's like to be in middle school. It's a very well done film.
Okay, all right. Well, how about Best Director?
Yeah, now this category I'm super excited about. This is a great year for movies, by the way, because in 2018, a lot of popular films that did a lot of money at the box office are being nominated. Now, in this particular category, I do think Alfonso Cuarón will win this award for his movie Roma, which is a Netflix film, which is available on Netflix now and in select theaters and some theaters as well. Though I do think Bradley Cooper deserves this award. I think what he did for a first feature film directorial debut with A Star is Born was absolutely brilliant, but I do think at the end of the night, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma will go home. If you haven't seen Alfonso Cuarón's movie Children of Men or Gravity, highly recommend those, but definitely check out Roma if you get a chance. One of the most beautifully shot films I've seen in a long time.
Roma looks so boring. I mean, I love all the other movies he's done have been great.
Now, Rob, listen, I actually understand where you're coming from because, listen, it's a hard sell. It's black and white. It's subtitled. I totally get that. But if you can dedicate 2 hours and 15 minutes and sit down and actually watch it, it's a lot. It takes patience. I do understand that. But I'm telling you right now, it is a very rewarding experience. But I do get where you're coming from. I totally get it.
Let's go into Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy.
Yeah, so this category, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen. Now, right now, I'm going to say my will win in this particular category. I really think The Favorite will take home the award for the Best Picture Musical Comedy of the night. I think that's my will win, should win. But I do want to say, and I'm kind of cheating here, I think Green Book could sneak in there. Now, Green Book is a great film with Viggo Mortensen as well as Mahershala Ali, directed by Peter Farrelly. Though I think at the end of the night, because of the star power of The Favorite, Emma Stone, Rachel Weisz, and Olivia Colman, I can see The Favorite taking home Best Musical Picture Comedy in that category. That's my will win, should win, but cheating a little bit. Don't be surprised if you hear Green Book get awarded.
And Kevin, because we're running out of time here, we got a tight show. Best Picture, who do you think gets it?
Star is Born. I think Star is Born takes this award. I'm so excited. Hopefully this will win. I think this is one of the best films I've seen in a long time. If you haven't seen A Star is Born, Jillian, try to see it if you can before Sunday, or at least before the Oscars.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
I'm so sad.
Kevin, thank you so much. We're going to drag her to the theater this weekend.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you later.
Thanks, guys. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year. 25 minutes after the hour, Democrats don't want the wall, but they were all for it when they voted for the Secure Fence Act. So what exactly has changed here on this issue? Liz Peek says the president has exposed the immigration hypocrisy of the left, and she joins us live next.
The sheet reinvented, ridiculously soft. Chic's Performance Sheets, delivering the ultimate deep sleep experience.
If technical fabrics can improve athletic performance, why can't we apply that same concept to sheets?
Traditional cotton sheets trap heat and moisture, but Chic's patented fabrics transfer heat 2 times more effectively, breathe nearly 50% better, and wick moisture.
You sweat a little bit every single night, and Chic's will help keep you cool.
Chic's are wrinkle-free, have stay-fit corners, and best of all, Chic's feel ridiculously soft.
They're so much softer than any other sheet I've ever had.
Every time you climb into bed, you'll experience the Chic's sensation. Call or go to trychic's.com now to order your Chic's Performance Sheet set. You'll get 25% off when you use the promo code on your screen, plus 2 additional pillowcases at no cost. Act now to get free shipping. Sleep on Chic's for 30 nights, and if you're not satisfied, we'll give you a full refund. Go online and see how Chic's deliver the ultimate deep sleep experience.
Are you currently on Medicare?
In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain or knee pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace or knee brace covered by Medicare at little to absolutely no cost to you. Call the number on your screen right now to see if you qualify.
I've worked hard on the ranch all my life, and I just can't tell you how this back brace makes me feel so much better.
These professional-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, rheumatoid and osteoarthritis, spinal disorders, stenosis, and other painful back problems.
I'm a retired truck driver, and I put a lot of miles on my back, and this back brace helps me feel much better.
Our medical-grade durable knee braces are designed for those with osteoarthritis and general knee pain and weakness. Will you qualify for a Medicare-covered back brace or knee brace? There's only one way to find out. Call the Back and Knee Brace Center at 800-218-8932. That's 800-218-8932. That's 800-218-8932.
Thanks to my new knee brace, I can go shopping for the first time in months and not have to sit every 10 minutes.
Our accredited staff will handle all of the Medicare paperwork. And best of all, your brace is shipped directly to your home for free. Will you qualify for a Medicare-covered back brace or knee brace? There's only one way to find out. Call the Back and Knee Brace Center at 800-218-8932.
The brace was so easy to order. The people were friendly on the phone and handled everything for me. What a relief.
Will you qualify for a Medicare-covered back brace or knee brace? There's only one way to find out. Call the Back and Knee Brace Center at 800-218-8932. That's 800-218-8932. That's 800-218-8932.
President Trump calls the family of fallen California police officer Ranil Singh, sharing his condolences. This as newly released court documents paint a picture of exactly what happened after his cold-blooded killing.
Alicia Acuna joins us live from Los Angeles with how the community is saying goodbye to the beloved officer. Alicia.
Hi, good morning, Jillian. Good morning, Rob. President Trump making that tough phone call, reminding Officer Singh's family of their hero in blue. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders saying, quote, the president praised Officer Singh's service to his fellow citizens, offered condolences, and commended law enforcement's rapid investigation, response, and apprehension of the suspect. This as newly released documents show the man charged in Singh's death stopped at his home after the alleged murder and covered his truck with plywood. Police say Gustavo Arriaga shot and killed Officer Singh during a traffic stop the day after Christmas. Arriaga is from Mexico and has been living in the U.S. illegally since crossing the border in Arizona. Family and friends preparing to say goodbye to Officer Singh in their California community. Officer Singh moved to the U.S. from Fiji to pursue his dream of becoming a police officer. Today, a procession will carry Officer Singh's body from Modesto to his town of Newman for an honor guard visitation before heading to another service at a chapel. He will be laid to rest tomorrow. Officer Singh's brother will join Fox and Friends this morning at 8:20 Eastern Time for an exclusive interview about the tragic shooting. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation will also give an update on paying Officer Singh's mortgage for his wife and 5-month-old son he leaves behind. Rob, Jillian.
That is a fantastic organization and such a sad story. Alicia, thank you so much. The Russian attorney for an American accused of spying in Russia has applied for bail. Paul Whelan, a retired Marine, is detained in Moscow on espionage charges. His attorney says Whelan plans to plead not guilty. He hopes Whelan can be swapped for a Russian who's currently behind bars here in the United States. Neither Russia nor the U.S. has made any suggestion of an exchange, at least not publicly. But Whelan's case does closely follow on the heels of Maria Butina, that Russian activist who pleaded guilty to acting as an illegal foreign agent, kind of wrapped up in the whole Trump investigation. We shall see. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says a second summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un could help end the rogue nation's nuclear threat. Pompeo saying the stage has been set for a significant breakthrough.
I think we have set the conditions where we can make real progress when Chairman Kim and President Trump meet and take down the threat to the United States and to the world that has been, frankly, holding America hostage for so long in North Korea.
Both the president and Kim Jong-un have expressed interest in a second meeting, but no date has been set. In his New Year's address, Kim claimed North Korea would no longer make or test nuclear weapons. But there was a lot in that speech. Relations aren't as warm with China, though, with the State Department now warning Americans to exercise increased caution while traveling in the country. The department warning that Beijing has been using exit bans to keep U.S. citizens from leaving the country, sometimes even holding them for years. The State Department urging travelers there to keep their passports with a valid Chinese visa on them at all times.
All right, so Democrats refusing to negotiate a border compromise with the Trump administration, despite their support for some of the measures President Trump has been calling for since he took office.
Illegal immigration is wrong. Operational control of our borders through significant additional increases in infrastructure, technology, and border personnel must be achieved.
Well, I mean, the tape doesn't lie, right? So what does this say about the Democratic Party? Joining me now is Fox News contributor Liz Peek. Thank you for your time.
Good morning.
You look at old clips like that, and that's one of multiple.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
And by the way, that's not 30 years ago. That was 2009.
Right.
So it's not really a fairly recent position. And we all know that many Democrats, including Schumer and Pelosi and Obama, signed the Secure Fencing Act of 2006, which called for a 700-mile barrier, fence, wall, whatever you want to call it. So, look, I find this very disheartening because there is no goodwill on the part of the Democrats to actually resolve this issue. And the thing is, it's not just an unimportant problem for America. It is a real problem. Yesterday, President Trump called on some very senior people who work for Border Patrol to come to the press conference and talk about securing the border with a wall or a fence.
The people who live it day in and day out.
That's right. And those people's lives occasionally are on the line. But Democrats have gone further and further left on this issue, more welcoming of illegal immigration and basically conflating the two. And that is just not acceptable.
Let me ask you, this bickering, this back and forth about the wall, what do you think this does to the public's perception of both parties right now?
Well, look, we elect these people to legislate, both the White House and also Congress. The fact that this is sort of an open wound for this country for so many decades now, I think is appalling to people. And when there is an event like the caravan approaching the border or the murder of the police officer in California, I think everybody in the country sort of stands back and says, whoa, we are a rule of law nation. How is it we are allowing undocumented people who are criminals and are convicted more than once of a criminal offense to stay in this country? It's outrageous. Sanctuary cities are outrageous, and they're dangerous. Yeah. So, this is a time President Trump is being very hard-nosed about not caving on his wall. He has said it could be a barrier, it could be a fence. There's wiggle room there. Mm-hmm. But he's completely right that we have to protect our country. By the way, there are tens of thousands of people coming across our border that slip through now undetected. It's not as though our borders are secure. Democrats say, our borders are fine. They're not.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some of the measures to move the country forward. And we have 6 of them here. That includes building the wall, obviously, make E-Verify mandatory, scrap diversity visa program, resolve DACA, which has been a topic of conversation heavily, allow opportunity to reach legal status, and then rationalize work visa programs.
Yeah, because we have some problems. We do need seasonal workers in the hospitality industry and also agriculture. So let's make sure we have enough of those workers. Yeah. Right now, we do not. E-Verify is very important because, first of all, it works. It's a free government service. It's very reliable. And most people in the country illegally have overstayed their visas. So the wall isn't going to prevent that. E-Verify would, because it prevents people from earning a living. And we need to resolve the DACA issue. These are hundreds of thousands of young people in the country. It's the only country they've known. They should have certain hurdles they have to jump. And then, yes, they should be given a path to citizenship. I do not advocate that for the 11 million or whatever number it is, people in the country illegally, adults. They came in. They didn't wait their turn. There should be a penalty. They should have legal status, registered alien status, but not a path to citizenship.
All right. Well, we'll certainly see the battle continues, Liz.
Yeah, it's a rational approach, which will get no attention whatsoever.
Well, we gave it attention here.
Yeah,
thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. It is 37 minutes after the hour. She may have support from fellow establishment Democrats, but what about the future of Pelosi's party?
I, of course, don't really like Nancy Pelosi. I prefer pretty much anyone else.
What happened to being the party of youth? Cabot Phillips went back to school to get some answers. He's live next.
Forget about me. Don't.
Do you use catheters? Are you using the catheter that's really best for you?
Oh, yeah. For years, I'd been using one kind of catheter, and I never knew that there were other really great catheters available until Liberator sent me samples to try. If I had not tried the samples from Liberator, I might never have found the perfect catheter for me. Liberator Medical sent me a catheter that was easier for me to use right out of the package. Now that I've found the best catheter for me, it's made my life much easier. My catheters were completely paid for, not a dime out of my pocket.
There are so many innovative catheters. Get the best catheter for you. Call Liberator Medical. Get your free catheter sample pack.
Call 1-800-885-1966. That's 1-800-885-1966.
Stay tuned to get a free umbrella with new breakthrough technology. That's right, free. An umbrella can keep you dry when it starts to pour, but it's a struggle to get it closed and into the door. Well, not anymore. Introducing Betterbrella, the ingenious new umbrella with reverse open-close technology. There's no easier way to get in from the rain. You'll always stay dry with no puddles inside. The secret? Betterbrella opens and closes differently than other umbrellas. Old umbrellas just get in the way, but watch how fast and easy Betterbrella saves the day. Plus, look, close it and it forms a waterproof cone. All the wetness stays inside, not on your floor. Amazing! The secret is Betterbrella's smart redesign of the traditional umbrella. We turned it upside down and inside out, so now it's super simple to get in and out of any door without getting wet. You'll be inside in a jiffy with Betterbrella. And never worry about the wind again, because Betterbrella is windproof. Strong wind, soaking rain, or heavy snow, Betterbrella keeps you dry wherever you go.
This umbrella makes my rainy days so much easier. Whether I'm walking the dog or grocery shopping, this umbrella works.
We want all of America to try this revolutionary new umbrella. So here's an insane deal. You can get the all-new Betterbrella in your choice of black, red, or blue for just $29.99. But wait, call now, and through this special TV offer, you can get a second Betterbrella free and get your shipping absolutely free. Plus, we'll instantly upgrade you to our special ergonomic handle. The soft comfort grip molds perfectly to any hand and makes it easier to hold. Yours free. And we guarantee Betterbrella will be the last umbrella you'll ever own or your money back. Betterbrella. Call now to get a second umbrella free and your shipping free. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-915-0653 or go to betterbrella.com. That's 1-800-915-0653 or order online at betterbrella.com.
Good morning to you. Welcome back. Dianne Feinstein says former Vice President Joe Biden is the Democrats' best bet to beat President Trump in 2020, although she hasn't spoken to Biden about a White House run. The senator tells Politico, quote, "I've watched him as vice president. I've seen him operate. I've seen him perform. He brings a level of experience and seniority, which I think is really important." Another prominent Democrat, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, also backing Biden this week. The former VP has yet to officially announce a 2020 run.
Biden, not the only former Obama administration official eyeing the Oval Office, I should say. Former HUD Secretary Julian Castro will reveal his 2020 plans next Saturday. Castro, who launched an exploratory committee last month, will break the news in San Antonio, where he was once the mayor. All right, Nancy Pelosi officially reelected as Speaker of the House as Democrats reclaim the House.
And I pledge that this Congress will be transparent, bipartisan, and unifying, that we will seek to reach across the aisle in this chamber and across divisions across our nation.
But it turns out that even liberal young voters might not want Pelosi representing them as Speaker.
Cabot Phillips is the media director for campusreform.org, and he spoke to students about this issue at George Washington University in Washington, D.C.
Fantastic.
And he joins us now. Hey, Cabot, welcome back.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, Pelosi doesn't really speak well to, I think, the younger generation in a lot of ways. They see her as old guard. What did you find?
it was interesting to see how so many students, while you might think they all agree, especially on the left, that they are fans of Pelosi, were not pleased with her selection and had different ideas of what they wanted from the speakership.
Yeah, let's take a look.
I'm not a big fan of her in general, so I would like to see somebody else.
I, of course, don't really like Nancy Pelosi. I prefer pretty much anyone else.
It'll be divisive with her there. I think that the Democratic Party would be better off with someone new.
I think it's great that a Democrat is finally Speaker of the House, but I do think that fresh blood couldn't hurt.
I do really understand and relate to the sentiment that we should have some newer, fresher faces.
I think she is old guard, kind of like with the Elizabeth Warren bunch, a little out of touch.
I guess the question, though, Cabot, is, okay, so you hear from those students who don't necessarily like Nancy Pelosi, but who do they like then? You heard multiple times younger, fresher faces. Do they relate to the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez type?
I think at this point, many of them just relate to whichever person they view as being the most resistance type candidate, and many of them do view Nancy Pelosi as kind of being this establishment person. I was out there all day. The one person I found that was very excited about Nancy Pelosi's speakership was actually a college Republican that said she's wonderful. She's someone that we can, rally against. She's an easy target, if you will, as Donald Trump was pointing out yesterday on Twitter and elsewhere. And it's interesting, I've been on over 100 college campuses with Leadership Institute's campus reform. There's this common trend where many young students on the left, they have two things they don't want to see in a politician. They're tired of this business as usual, kind of establishment, traditional type politician. They're also tired of people being leaders of the past, kind of this past generation of people in power. And I hate to break it to them, but that's kind of Democrat leadership at this point. If you're looking at Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, even Hillary Clinton, and now Nancy Pelosi, they're full of leaders from the past. And so there aren't that many young and, inspiring, accomplished people to choose from.
Oh, we haven't talked about Beto O'Rourke in a few days.
Right. And you wonder if they do put up Biden, will they be able to motivate that younger base? Are people going to get excited about a 75-year-old man that was the vice president? We'll see. Cabot, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
All right. The New York Times ripped by its former editor for what she calls the paper's anti-Trump bias. Accuracy and Media Executive Director Gus Portella breaks down just some examples of this when he joins us live coming up next.
But first, let's check in with Brian Kilmeade to see what's coming up on Fox and Friends. Right. Hello, Brian.
Oh, well, good luck, guys, getting all the examples of bias from the New York Times in one segment. That'll be a titanic task. Hey, let me tell you what's coming up over the next 3 hours. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders will be talking about the shutdown. We're in day 14, how hundreds of thousands of people are paying the price, and are Democrats ready to deal. Also with us, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, how he plans on dealing with Nancy Pelosi, especially because they already offered articles of impeachment. And 2 Republican senators have already said, Mr. President, reopen the government. Senator Josh Hawley will be here, brand new senator from Missouri. How does he feel about that? Anthony Scaramucci's here. He's got charisma, as does Tommy Lahren. All coming up in 3 hours on Fox and Friends. And I urge you, as we go to break and to gradually maybe take a wide shot and see our logo, to please get dressed.
If your family is anything like this, you need quality floors from Empire today. Like durable carpet with built-in stain and pet protection. Tough wood laminate with a scratch-resistant finish. Or waterproof vinyl plank floors. Even bath time is no match. And when life happens, Empire backs every floor with great warranties. Quality floors you can count on. That's Empire today.
800-588-2300 Empire.
On Trivago and explore the different possibilities a hotel can offer me. A beautiful swimming pool. A Caribbean beach. Whoa! Okay. Start planning with Trivago. Search for your destination, choose filters, and select your maximum budget. Trivago will compare prices from hundreds of websites worldwide to find the ideal hotel for you. Hotel Trivago.
Killed in the line of duty by an illegal immigrant. The politics, the policy, and what should be done now. The slain officer's brother speaks out today on Fox and Friends.
Show of hands. Who's a future Comcast business customer here?
I think we all are.
Sign us yes, up. Today. 2 hands. Yes.
Get fast, reliable internet and add voice for a low price. Just one more way we go beyond for your business.
And now you can also enter for a chance to win $10,000 from Comcast Business to get your year off to a fast start. There's a new $10,000 winner every day in January. Go online now and enter for a chance to win. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Attention, this is an important warning for type 2 diabetics taking Invokana, Farxiga, and Jardiance. Fournier's gangrene and other flesh-eating infections of the genitals have been associated with the use of Invokana, Farxiga, and Jardiance. The FDA has ordered these manufacturers to change their warnings to include these severe gangrene complications. Call the Sentinel Group today. Consult your doctor before discontinuing any medication.
Please call 800-737-9070.
Baxter, it's bedtime.
Peace of mind should never be out of reach.
Xfinity Home.
Xfinity Home connects you to total home security you can control from anywhere on any device. And it protects you with 24/7 professional monitoring.
I guess we're sleeping here tonight.
Xfinity Home. Simple, easy, awesome. Call, go online, or demo in an Xfinity store today.
When I say Italy, what comes to mind?
Pirello Tours. Oh, Pirello Tours.
Hi, I'm Steve Perillo of Perillo Tours, and I personally approve every itinerary to ensure a stress-free, once-in-a-lifetime vacation.
I think of the culture.
There's so much to see. I really enjoyed Sorrento.
Being on a Perillo tour was better than anything I can remember ever on an anniversary.
Salute!
Call now for your free brochure, insider's guide, and free $100 gift card. Call 800-368-0256.
Welcome back. The New York Times under attack by one of its own, former Times editor Jill Abramson, slamming the paper's news stories as, quote, unmistakably anti-Trump. So is she right? Just look at some recent headlines from the Times. Trump's freewheeling and mostly fact-free cabinet meeting. And then you compare that to this one. Nancy Pelosi, icon of female power, will reclaim role as speaker and seal a place in history. Here to react, GOP strategist and executive director of accuracy in media, Gus Portella. Gus, thanks for coming on today. We have a slew of examples here to show people about stories that ended up not being true that were anti-Trump. But first of all, let's start with your opinion of what Jill Abramson had to say about her former paper.
Well, this is a very big book that came out, big revelations in that book. And really what she's talked about here is that the New York Times has essentially monetized their bias towards President Trump. The president has actually helped them, or their negative coverage, I should say, of the president has actually helped them to grow their subscribers from, almost 500,000 before he became president and ran for president, I should say, to over 2 million.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Trump bump in the media has been seen, and it's been seen in TV and newspapers as well. Let's look at some headlines here. This is a big one. Remember the curtains from the UN? That was a big one. They said the State Department spent $52,000 on curtains for the residence of the UN envoy, trying to show the Trump administration wasting our hard-earned taxpayer dollars. Well, it ended up happening that this was money that was actually spent during the Obama administration that just ended up finally being used now. So that was an Obama administration problem. And then here's a tweet from Jake Silverstein, who's the editor-in-chief of the New York Times Magazine. This link, which was going around this morning, is from 2014. Still disturbed. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. This is about the pictures, I believe, of the kids in the cages. This is, okay, so we have two here. So this one, if you remember, there was another big outrage over the children in the cages. They said the Trump administration was keeping these kids in the cages, and then they showed the picture, and the picture went viral. And it ends up, that was from 2014. There's the picture right there. We have countless examples. You go back, the outrage over President Obama using, or President Trump using tear gas at the border. They did it under Obama. There's so many examples, Gus.
There's a lot of examples. The funny part about all of these is that, over 2 million people, obviously their subscribers plus, then some afterwards, that read the New York Times see this, and then their attractions are seen by less viewers, less people that originally saw those stories. And so those retractions are, that's really harmful, I should say, and really goes to cause more division in this country, because simply put, they're not doing their job of accurate reporting.
Right. Now, in all fairness, the president says terrible things about the media in this country quite often, things that people in this business, including many of us in any part of the business here and anywhere else, don't like. But has the president baited the media into causing and inflicting on themselves irreparable harm? Because the media went down to his level, I think, in a lot of ways. What do you think?
Well, sure. In a lot of ways, the reason he's fighting this is because they've failed to cover him at least fairly. Obviously, there is a level of bias that goes into all the coverages. You were talking about this earlier when we began the segment.
Do you think he's made the coverage of him worse by being so critical of the media? Has he made them get even worse and cost them a lot of their reputation?
Sure, at times at times they definitely have. They've gone sort of, after him on some things that his administration hasn't even had a hand in. You mentioned some examples earlier, and unfortunately, that has, in my opinion, at least, caused a reputation. I guess the reputation in at least the New York Times to sink a little bit. You could see definitely those episodes of bias that have gone on, and I personally believe that it's caused their reputation to sink a little bit.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder what will happen to the news media when Trump is gone and everything kind of goes back to normal, I guess. Gus, thank you so much for your time this morning. We do appreciate it.
Great. Thanks for having me.
All right, 53 minutes after the hour, prison guards thought that this man was a pastor, but it's what they found inside his Bible during a visit that had him trading his Sunday best for an orange jumpsuit. We'll have that. In Houston, we have a problem. The astronaut who raised the alarm from orbit by calling 911. Stay tuned.
Rocket Man, burning out its fuse out here alone. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids.
I am not for colds.
I am not for just treating my symptoms.
I am for shortening colds when I'm sick with Zicam.
Zicam is completely different.
Unlike most other cold medicines, Zicam is clinically proven to shorten colds.
I am a Zy-fan for Zicam.
Oral or nasal.
Do you suffer aches and pains from poor circulation? Are tired, aching legs stopping you from enjoying life? You don't have to suffer any longer. Relieve your aches and pains with Revitive Medic Circulation Booster, a new drug-free home treatment cleared by the FDA that significantly improves circulation in your legs and feet. Just one relaxing session a day, and you'll feel back in control. Medical conditions, age, or inactivity can cause poor circulation. The result, aches and pains that ruin your everyday life. Only Revitive Medic's patented wide pulse waveforms stimulate the nerve endings in your feet to get your lower leg muscles pumping and actively improve your circulation, relieve your aches and pains, and strengthen your leg muscles.
I've tried everything to get rid of my pain, and nothing has worked like Revitive. And even better, it's not a drug.
My granddaughter asked me to dance with her. Well, I can't turn down my granddaughter, right? So I danced 2 long dances with her, and I would never have been able to do that without Revitive.
It makes a big difference. Quality of life. It's nice to have that filling back and have the control back.
Award-winning design makes Revitive Medic easy to use. Just place your feet on the foot pads and increase the intensity using the remote control. In minutes, you'll be enjoying relief as Revitive's clinically proven impulses take your aches and pains away. Discover why 94 out of 100 people who try Revitive keep it. Because it works. Try risk-free with our 60-day money-back guarantee. If Revitive Medic doesn't relieve your aches and pains, return it and we'll refund the purchase price, the shipping, and even pay the return shipping. That's how confident we are in the power of Revitive. Call 1-800-369-8362 or go to tryrevitive.com right now. That's 1-800-369-8362.
You don't have to live with pain. You just have to take the leap and try Revitive.
Never upgrade to 3-ply. It will ruin regular toilet paper forever. And never get Hulu. With live TV and exclusive originals, it's basically the 3-ply of TV. Come in!
I've always had a problem with sweaty hands.
My hands would be so sweaty. It was just stressful. Do a lot of those.
This was a big problem for me.
We had really sweaty hands and feet.
So we created Carpe Antiperspirant Lotion. Carpe makes it so my hands don't sweat.
Carpe is like amazing.
You literally just put it on your hands and rub it in. I haven't had sweaty hands in 2 years since I started using Carpe.
Carpe has helped so many people stop their sweaty hands and feet, including us.
Go to CarpeLotion.com today to get our free shipping offer. Limited time only.
Remember that degree you got in taxation? Of course you don't, because you didn't. Your job isn't doing hard work. It's making them do hard work and getting paid for it.
Snap and sort your expenses to save over $4,600 at tax time. QuickBooks, backing you.
Hannity is #1, the most watched program in cable news for 2 consecutive years.
Perspective I promise you will get nowhere else.
America agrees. No one does it better than Sean. Fox News Channel. Real news, real honest opinion.
One of America's drunkest states wants stiffer laws against intoxicated drivers. Wisconsin Republicans introducing a bill that would charge first-time drunk drivers with a misdemeanor instead of just a ticket. That would they would face 30 days in jail and up to a $500 fine. It seems pretty standard, isn't it? It's ranked second in Wisconsin for having the biggest drinkers. North Dakota is the drunkest state in the country. Notice how they're all cold states.
I was literally just going to say that. It's like same wavelength there. Drink to stay warm.
There you go.
Okay, and a man is behind bars accused of posing as a pastor to smuggle drugs. Police say James Mormon stuffed Suboxone strips inside Bibles, sneaking them inside a North Carolina prison. He's accused of giving them to inmate Bryson Brown. Both men now facing charges for the operation.
All right, time for the good, the bad, and the ugly. First, the good. A combat veteran lawmaker is welcoming 2 new congressmen who also made that sacrifice. What a great picture. Florida Representative Brian Mast tweeting, quote, 5 eyes, 5 arms, 4 legs, wow. All American. The photo taken with Dan Crenshaw of Texas and Indiana's Jim Baird on the first day of the 116th Congress. I love
That's
that.
Something.
Yeah.
Next, the bad. A Dutch astronaut sparks panic after dialing 911 from space. Andre Kupers missed a key number when making the call to Earth. A security team scrambled into Houston's headquarters to hear the call. Kupers only realized he made that mistake after receiving an email the next day. The astronaut joked that he was disappointed. Nobody came up to space.
It's a response time on that, yeah. Finally, the ugly. This woman with wild face tattoos, kind of looks like the Joker, is behind bars after allegedly threatening to blow up a 7-Eleven. Police say Crystal Mustek placed a device on the store counter in Virginia Beach. She said it was a bomb. Thankfully, it was not. And she's set to be sentenced in March. That's a scary picture.
Yes, it is. Hey, thank you for watching. Happy New Year, everybody. The first week officially under books in the new year. So have a good day. Have a good weekend.
House Democrats passing a spending bill overnight, but it does not include money for a border wall.
Is there any situation in which you would accept even $1 of wall funding?
$1? Yeah, $1.
The president's made it clear. We're here to make a deal, but we will have no deal without a wall.
Day one of the new Congress, a Democrat representative has already introduced articles of impeachment.
Bullies don't win. And I said, baby, they don't. Because we're going to go in there, we're going to impeach them.
Decorated Navy SEAL Special Operations Chief Edward Gallagher will be arraigned today for the killing of a young ISIS fighter in Iraq. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison.
The powerful photo of wounded vets now serving in Congress. Florida Representative Brian Mast tweeting, quote, 5 eyes, 5 arms, 4 legs, all American.
Make you glad you came. The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts.
Stars just went in.
Yeah, that's right. Friday, January 4th. Welcome aboard, folks. Hey, look, Ainsley's off today. Jenna
Thanks for having me, guys.
Nice to see you. You blend right in with the couch.
I do. I did that on purpose. I like to camouflage myself just in case.
Let's hope it doesn't snow if we go outside.
That's true. That is very true.
It is.
Although I like a winter wonderland. So.
Hey, listen. Welcome to the 116th Congress. It took the stage yesterday in Washington, D.C. Nancy Pelosi became the speaker. No surprise there. She gave a speech. It was a very good speech. She did invite the President of the United States to come back on January 29th for the State of the Union, and Fox and Friends will probably be there.
Really?
Yeah, probably. That's what I heard this morning.
Is that my briefing?
But she will also see the President of the United States this morning at 11:30 because the House passed 2 bills to reopen the government. But the problem is the President has made it very clear if there's no Waldo, he's not going to go for it.
Right. He's not. I also say with day 14 of the shutdown, Richard Shelby is predicting it's going to last for months. So that's pretty scary because you had hundreds of thousands of people whose livelihood depends on them not lasting months.
He's in charge of appropriations.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to get 11:30. We did think from Steny Hoyer it was going to be a 10:30 meeting. It quickly got changed. He had it wrong. And also on Nancy Pelosi's speech, she was muttering underneath her breath. I think I lost a few pages.
At the very end.
Yeah, she's like, sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
It was smooth until that.
Well, lots of people have been wondering if President Trump's going to dig his heels in or if he's going to cave.
Right.
Turns out Vice President Mike Pence is saying we will have no deal without the wall. Hammering that through. Take a listen.
Ever since the Christmas holiday, the president sent us to Capitol Hill. I met with Senator Schumer not once but twice. We engaged in good faith negotiations. The president and I canceled all of our Christmas vacation plans. We were here in Washington, D.C. Democrats broke off negotiations about a week ago, but the president's made it clear. We're here to make a deal, but it's a deal that's going to result in achieving real gains on border security. And you have no border security without a wall. We will have no deal without a wall.
Okay, so he's pretty clear about that. Yep. So Congress did pass 2 bills yesterday. One package was a package of 6 different spending bills that would open most of the government, except the Department of Homeland Security, which would be funded in that separate little sliver of a bill. The big question now is, will the president sign one of the 2? It goes to Mitch, of course, for his decision. He's not going to put anything up that the president won't sign. But if one reopens most of the government, would the president sign that? It's the other one, the Department of Homeland Security, that has no wall funding that the president really has a problem with. The big question is, will he use both as maximum leverage?
My prediction is he's not going to sign anything that doesn't involve border security. He's been talking about this wall for a really long time. The people who voted for him are counting on him to stand firm. What I found interesting is that one of the bills that Democrats put forth found a lot of money for other stuff. They found $12 billion for more international affairs programs, $700 million for the UN. So when they want to find money, they get out there and find money.
For other countries?
For other things, for other countries. But when it comes to our own border security, the protection of this nation and our own national security, drug trafficking, human trafficking, they think that's a big joke.
Well, the good news is where mail is going to be delivered, the military, law enforcement, entitlement programs are largely unaffected. 9 departments, including Homeland Security, Justice, State, and Treasury, are affected. And you got about 800,000 people that are going to feel some type of hit. So we'll see what it means. Right now, the major impasse is the barrier, which is so maddening is Senator Dick Durbin in 2006, multiple times, Senator Schumer, you have Harry Reid when he was majority leader. Oh, they all said they need a fence. The word that I thought would have us debating on the couch would be fence or wall. But now the president says, my give is, I just want a barrier. But now the Democrats are saying, I don't remember even wanting a barrier. Speaker Nancy Pelosi says, I find it immoral, which is unbelievable. You would think that maybe you have to take down the hundreds of miles of fence we have already. And she wasn't shy about using sarcasm yesterday.
Is there any situation in which you would accept even $1 of wall funding for this president in order to reopen the government?
$1? $1.
So
$1? Yeah, $1.
How high was you willing to go? Are you willing to go?
No, you said $1. You said $1.
So how high are you willing to go?
Well, that's not your question. You said $1. I'm answering your question. The fact is, a wall is an immorality.
Wow.
Okay, well, that is a headline right there because she has just agreed to partially funding the wall to the tune of $1.
You know, like I said, she thinks this is a big joke. I don't find this funny at all. I mean, I think it's interesting that she can joke about, a humanitarian crisis on the border and they can find money for a bunch of other stuff and deprioritize national security. It's not immoral to know who's coming in and out of this country, to have ICE agents able to do their job, to have Border Patrol agents able to do their job, job to secure this country. And I think it's really offensive that when you have, children coming here and suffering through horrific conditions to get over here, some dying, you had a child die, or a story that was widely reported, and you have her laughing about it. No, you have this administration trying to do something to prevent these crises, Nancy. It's not funny.
So let's see what the president and the congressional leaders do. They're going to meet today at 11:30 at the White House. Will there be a breakthrough? You'll find out about it here on Fox. Meanwhile, the president of the National Border Patrol Council, Brandon Judd, who actually stood behind the president yesterday in the briefing room and made some very pointed comments about the need for border protection, is going to join us live in the next hour.
Yeah, by the way, brilliant for the president to bring out the men and women who are actually doing the job every day. He came out during the press briefing room, and I think he took control of the narrative by hitting everybody with facts. And Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer weren't there to interrupt the people that are doing this work. Apolitical, just want to get it done. Meanwhile, you have to wonder how long it's going to take before impeachment comes up with this new Congress.
Well, on the first day of Democrat control, Brad Sherman, a Democrat from California, filed articles of impeachment, which he's done this before. He did it back in 2017. He is accusing the president of the United States of obstruction of justice over the way he fired James Comey, the former FBI director. Meanwhile, we heard from Jim Jordan, member of the House Freedom Caucus. He hit Twitter up pretty fast.
Yep, that's right. He says, we knew they couldn't help themselves. Representative Sherman files articles of impeachment on the president. Dems are more focused on stopping Trump than building the wall and helping the country. This is no surprise to a lot of people that they came out with this immediately.
I would think if they're going to have a strong leader, and the leader said, don't do this right away, we'll see what happens with the Mueller investigation, you would think that Sherman might say, I might listen to the new speaker, but he didn't care. So we'll see if that gets a vote. Meanwhile, Rashid Tlaib is one of the freshman that is going to be Rashida Tlaib, I should say, is one of the freshmen who is going to be in Washington. And I think she's going to be very open and honest when she can work with the president. Or she might not be. Try to read between the lines.
When your son looks at you and says, Mama, look, you won, bullies don't win. And I said, baby, they don't. Because we're going to go in there and we're going to impeach them.
It was a MoveOn.org rally.
The civility really does impress me, I have to say, right from the start. It's really quite impressive.
She had made history earlier in the day. She was the first Palestinian-American woman to serve in Congress. She arrived and was sworn in wearing traditional Palestinian dress with elaborate embroidery called tatriz, I believe. And there she is right there. Made a lot of headlines with that. But then later, when she had that soundbite at that particular thing where she was talking about a conversation she had with her son, it does follow, though, what she had penned in the Detroit Free Press earlier in the day, which was an op-ed calling President Trump a direct and serious threat to America. But, for Democrats who say this president is uncivil, he went over the line, inappropriate behavior for an elected official, you look at what she said at that MoveOn.org event last night, and you just say that was rough language. But is that just a preview of coming attractions? Don't know.
I think so. I think you're going to see that a lot more, too. And I don't think it's going to be surprising to a lot of people. The consensus among many was that Democrats were going to come in and the first thing they were going to do was investigate Donald Trump ad nauseum. And I caution them because, people are expecting you, people who voted you in are expecting you to focus on policy, not investigations.
Why
so
investigate
be careful.
when you can impeach?
Of course. They've been trying to do that since the guy got elected. And we want to hear from you as well. Friends at FoxNews.com. We want to hear what you have to say. Should Democrats focus on this impeachment, and how will that work out for them?
Eric Swalwell says he'll either be impeached by us or at the ballot box. He's also running for president. Jillian is not running for president.
I am not running for president.
You're going to make that clear, right?
Yes, make that
not
very
yet
clear.
Anyway, Jillian.
Nope. We do have a Fox News alert to get to, though, so let's get you caught up on this. At least 7 people are killed, including children, in a massive highway inferno. Several others were taken to the hospital with some critical injuries. Police say 2 tractor trailers and 2 vehicles smashed into each other outside Gainesville, Florida. 50 gallons of fuel spilling onto the roadway, igniting a fireball. It's not clear what caused the crash. President Trump calling the family of fallen California officer Ranil Singh. The president sharing his condolences as funeral services begin today. Newly released documents show the illegal immigrant charged in Singh's death stopped at his home after the alleged murder and covered his truck with plywood. He's accused of shooting and killing Officer Singh during a traffic stop one day after Christmas. Officer Singh's brother, Reggie, will join Fox and Friends for an exclusive interview later this morning. More than a dozen Democratic state attorneys general appealing a Texas judge's ruling that Obamacare is unconstitutional. The AGs from 16 states and Washington, D.C. putting the case in the Fifth Circuit's hands, arguing it threatens the entire health care system. The appeal comes after House Democrats gave themselves the ability to intervene in the lawsuit by passing the new rules package. And how about this? The dominant UConn women's hoops team stunned as their 126-game regular season win streak comes to an end.
Collier rejects Cox. Jackson's got it. And hits!
Number 8 Baylor topping the top-ranked Huskies 68-57, ending their more than 4-year streak. And it's the first time ever that the Lady Bears have beaten a top-ranked team. Ooh.
Takes the pressure off.
4 years.
To keep that winning streak going, that's a lot of pressure.
It is.
They don't have to worry about it now.
Notre Dame stunned them in the playoffs last year, and then this happens, even though we're all banged up. All right, Gino Auriemma, I don't think his job is in jeopardy right now. Meanwhile, 12 minutes after the hour.
Thank you, Jillian. Meanwhile, most people are focused on Democrats taking the House as they did yesterday, but many new Republicans are starting in Congress as well. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley is one of them. He replaces Claire McCaskill. He's going to join Brian next with how he's going to work with the opposition.
All right, and first they took away your plastic straws. Now they're trying to take away your meat. Tommy Lair and Here to React.
Yo, sound the bell. School is in, sucker. You can't touch this. Give me a song or rhythm, making them sweat. That's what I'm giving them now. They know. You talk about the hammer, you're talking about a show that's hot and tight. Singles are sweating so fast, them a whiteboard tape. To learn what's gonna go in the 90s to burn the charts.
Our dad was in the hospital.
Because of smoking.
It was still hard to have a cigarette.
Had to.
But then we were like,
What are we doing?
The Nicoderm CQ. You know why, we know how.
What if there was something that can reduce body fat, boost mood, get rid of wrinkles, tighten saggy skin, and make you look and feel decades, not years, but decades younger? Interested?
Serovital, available at Ulta and smarter retailers nationwide.
Got directions to the nightclub here, and if you get lost, just hit me on the old horn.
Tom's my best friend, but ever since he bought a new house...
It's a $10 cover? Oh, okay. Didn't see that on the website?
He's been acting more and more like his dad.
Come on, guys, jump in. The water's fine. Tom Pritchard. How we doing? Hi there, Tom Pritchard. Can we get a round of jalapeno poppers for me and the boys, please? I've been saving a lot of money with Progressive lately, so...
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
I wasn't sleeping well. My neck would be stiff.
I had memory foams, I had feather pillows, and I'd always wake up with neck pain, and I had constant headaches.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled commercial for this important announcement.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Since inventing MyPillow, I've had hundreds of thousands of people tell me that MyPillow has changed their lives. And now we can prove it. A recent clinical sleep study confirms that MyPillow does change and improve the quality of your sleep. It proved you get less sleep interruptions on MyPillow. It increases your restorative deep sleep. It helps reduce your snoring, and it improves the oxygen levels to help you wake up feeling refreshed.
After sleeping on MyPillow, I was more aligned, everything felt good.
I didn't realize the connection between the pillow and sleep. When I switched to MyPillow, I got a better night's sleep, and I love it.
Call or go to MyPillow.com now. Use this promo code and Mike will give you a second MyPillow absolutely free. Hurry, this offer ends February 1st.
MyPillow works because my patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs, and it holds that support all night long so you get the best sleep of your life.
The same research study also showed that a full 78% of participants showed improvement in their sleep. 78%! Every MyPillow is made in the USA. It's machine washable and dryable, comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. So if you want to fall asleep faster, get deep restorative sleep, have less snoring interruptions, and wake up feeling more refreshed, don't wait another minute. Order your very own MyPillow now.
I personally guarantee that MyPillow will be the most comfortable pillow you'll ever own.
Call or go to MyPillow.com now. Use this promo code and Mike will give you a second MyPillow absolutely free. That's right, 2 MyPillows for the price of 1. Hurry, this offer ends February 1st.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Hey, saved your seat.
This round is on me.
Hey, can you spot me?
Come on in.
Find your place today with Silver Sneakers. Included with many Medicare Advantage plans. Call the number on the screen now or visit getsilversneakers.com.
And I pledge that this Congress will be transparent, bipartisan, and unifying, that we will seek to reach across the aisle in this chamber and across divisions across our nation.
A bipartisan message from newly ascended House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Now let's see how long that lasts. How about minutes? With most of the attention on Democrats taking control of the House, there are also a number of Republicans taking seats in the House and Senate for the first time. So how will they work with the opposition? After all, in the Senate, it's a 53-47 advantage now. Let's ask GOP lawmaker who was newly sworn in yesterday, I believe the youngest one of the Senate, Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri. Senator, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Day 1 is in the books, and already you have a crisis. Day 14 of a shutdown. I see 2 Republican senators are wavering, saying, I think we should reopen the government. Senator Collins and Senator Cory Gardner. Are you going to be the third?
I'm going to say it's going to be awfully hard for me to support anything that does not include funding for a border wall. The president has been very clear on this. We need border security. We need to build the wall that's important to the people of my state. Listen, the people of Missouri have sent a message twice now in the last 2 years, 2016, 2018. They want our border secure, and that's what we've got to fight for.
All right, so we'll see how long this lasts. The president's dug in. He says he feels great support. He had stats backing him up yesterday. So I understand the president's backed off a little. He says, listen, I'm not saying a wall, a 2,000-mile wall. I'll take fence, I'll take barrier. We got to fix other places. So if he'll take fence and he'll take a barrier, and he's talking about metal slots, I was shocked to see Senator Schumer was caught up with by a reporter on WCBS and was asked about his earlier comments in 2008 and 2006, saying he was for a fence and we need border security. He was confronted with that, and here's what he said.
It's not just fencing. A fence works. You ask the experts. A big concrete wall is expensive and doesn't work.
So he said, I'll take a fence. Is that a jumping off point?
This is what this is all about. This is all about pure politics. The people of this country sent a message in 2016, 2018. They want results, Brian. They want the border secure. They want folks to actually get something done in Washington. And now you have the Democrats saying, we won't even come to the table. You can see it in Senator Schumer's response. It's the ever-shifting goalposts. President said, even come to the table. You can see it in Senator Schumer's response. It's the ever-shifting goalposts. President said,